Whoa, it wasn't this bright earlier. What the heck just happened? That's crazy. Hi, hello, welcome to today's stream. I'm starting later than I intended to because when I turned my computer on, it crashed. And because it crashed, I got a message from my sister that I actually read because I usually don't see messages while I'm streaming, that our car was acting up. So at that point, I called my sister, and my stream was actually going to be shorter today because we're going to actually go check out cars. Because we're thinking of getting a new car because our car has had a lot of issues lately. And it's just not a happy car. She's not happy. And so we're going to see if we can, what we can do. We don't have like the crazy amounts of funds we would like to have right now, but we're going to see what our options are. Some fun stuff like that, and look at cars today. So I'm only going to be streaming for about 4 hours, a little less than 4 hours. Unless she texts me and tells me something's happening. And then, as always, this is my second, I think, fever blister I've had since streaming, but this is much more prominent. I don't have anything weird going on with my mouth. It's just, I get this when I get sick. I guess. I don't know if it's because I got sick or not, but I did have like a runny nose for like 3 days last week. I usually try to stream even on other days. Like I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'll usually stream on like a Friday and maybe a Saturday and maybe even Sunday if I have like I'm in the mood. But I had a runny nose for like 2 solid days. I went and hung out with my friends Friday night for my friend's birthday party, and then Saturday I was dead the whole day to the point that I wanted to leave work. And then Sunday I did leave work early because I was feeling sick, and my closing friend was like, just go. just go home, you're sick. So yeah, so I didn't want to make a very long introduction today so that we could hop into our lovely festivities. I don't know if I'm going to have anybody joining our chat today, which is fine. But we're going to be going through Eel's story. I put this on prior to everything because Ignis is red, and I might not even get to Ignis's route today. But we did pretty good yesterday. I was hoping to get further along, but it's okay because even if I don't finish Eel's story today, we have 3 days next week, and we still have another week, I think, because my goal was to finish this before February. Yeah, so we'd have 3 days next week, so the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, and then technically the 30th and the 31st. So that gives me 5 days to get through 2 more routes. Yeah, I think we can do it. We'll see. At the very least. But I'm hoping I can get at least to the end of Eel's story before we stop today. And if we don't, oh well, it's gonna be fine. If I don't get to the end of Eel's story, I probably won't play on Friday for this specifically because I have a collab planned. We're gonna be doing Lethal Company again this week. But I might try to swing on Saturday if I'm not done with Eel's story. Specifically Eel, just because I want to get through his story and then start Ignis's. All right, we are ready. Shortly before Enchante's opening time, before the owner Leah made her way downstairs, 5 of the shop regulars surround the tables with serious expressions.
例の神隠し騒動に異世界か人外が関与しているですか?
The mysterious disappearances are related to another world, or non-humans, you say? The subject concerning the rumors, which had circulated as of late all about the mysterious disappearance incidents.
朝っぱらからよくわかんねえ話だな。つうか、異世界人外どうこうっても、アンシャンテ自体には関係ねえだろ。
It's too early for this crap. Even if they are beings from another dimension, that has nothing to do with Enchante, right?
まあね。直接的な関与がないのはもちろん僕もわかってるよ。ただ、妙な術式の痕跡があってね。
Or sorry, it's a mouse pad. This is a mouse pad, and I just saw it on my camera and went like, do I have a case up there? Pretty much even I know it has no direct connection to you. However, we've detected traces of strange spells.
できれば、ミシェルとイル、術の専門家である君たちに解析の協力を依頼したいんだ。
If possible, Monsieur and Eel, since you two specialize in magic, I'd like to request your help with analysis. Monsieur and Eel exchange a look, prompting Eel to lift his eyebrows. While Enchante is unrelated, the disappearances took place not too far from it.
ホールの発生が原因ならば神隠しと言われるゆえんもわかるが
I suspect that a
そうでないとな
wormhole
れば
opening
いささか不可解ではある
may explain the string of disappearances. The alternative, however, is disconcerting to ponder.
それに万が一だが彼女自身が標的になった場合も考えると
Also, just in case if she so happens to be the target, we should prepare for the worst. Each regular contemplates this thought themselves.
おっと何にせよまずは彼女にも話を通した方がいいだろうね
Hold it. Regardless of the case, it would be best to talk to her about it too.
マスター、おはようございます。今日は起床が遅かったのですね。
Good morning. You woke up rather late today. I didn't wake up late. I just had stuff happening. That's all.
どうしました？私の顔に何かついていますか？
Is something wrong? Is something stuck to my face? Sorry, Il. I'm just half asleep. Also, why is everyone here? Even Rindo's here so early.
ああそれは
About that. And then they clue me in. And it transforms back to my point of view. Thanks for the regulars, I was up to speed.
実は昨べもここから近い大通り周辺の路地裏で起きたみたいなんだ
Truth be told, last night it occurred just around the corner in an alley off the main street.
姿を消したのは若い女性時刻は20時ぐらいかな
A young woman disappeared. The time was around 2000 hours, so that was like 8 p.m. The time and place took me aback. Don't tell me. Could that have been the scream I overheard?
なんだよ。まさかお前、その場にいたのか？
What's with you? Were you there or something? I didn't see it directly, but I thought I heard a scream. I thought it was my imagination, so I didn't look into it.
仕方あるまい何も知らないのであれば噂は噂に過ぎぬのだから
That's not your fault. If it's nothing more than... If it's not... Oh gosh, if you know nothing more, then for now we must treat it as a simple rumor.
そうですね。仮に女性が姿を消す瞬間に間に合っていたとしても、
Too right. Even if you were to reach the woman just as she
あな
vanished.
た一人で解決できるとは限りません。むしろ一緒に行方不明になっていたかもしれません。
You may not have been able to save her. In fact, you may have been taken as well.
そのような可能性、想像するだけで恐ろしい。
The mere possibility causes my hair to stand. For now, I'll save my regrets for later. Why don't you show them the little orb you found? I had to focus on the situation and look out for any possible clues. When Rindo asked me to elaborate, possible clues. Ah! Just then I recalled a certain item. Please wait a minute. I hurried to my room and returned down back with my bag. Last night I picked something up at the scene, but I don't really know what it is.
何かわかんねえ。なんだそりゃ。どういうことだよ。
You don't know? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I couldn't quite see it. It didn't have a shape. It was hard to make out. Oh shoot, I hit the button too fast. You couldn't see it? The plot thickens. Well, it would be faster to show them to explain, so I began to rummage through my bag. Wait, the inside of my bag is dark. Did that mysterious light vanish? With little choice, I searched the bag with just the shop lighting and the feeling of my fingers. Then, I think this is it. I found something white in my bag. Without knowing what the item was, I pulled it out and go to hand it to Mr. Rindo.
あ
What?
これって
This is... With the movement of Rindo's hand, it glimmers in the sunlight. In exchange for the diminishing glow, however, we see that it is A single white, soft, and lovely feather. Disappearance related to non-humans, the strange object found at the scene was a stark white feather. All of us realize at once. An angel's feather? Everyone's gaze focuses on Eel.
いる。もしや何か知っているのか？
Eel, do you know something about this? Connus asks in a low voice, and that moment. Good morning, and I can't stay long to enjoy the rest of your day. I have a terrible connection at the office. It's okay. I kind of said this earlier. I'm going to have a short stream today because we're actually going to go look at cars in a few hours. So originally it was going to be a long stream, but I'm only going to be here until about 2 o'clock my time, so about 3 more hours. But thank you for stopping by. I always love it when you say hi. Thank you, Jay. Connus asks in a low voice, and that moment. Oh gosh, Eel clutches his chest and collapses on the spot. Eel?
おい、どうした？
What happened? We hurriedly call to him, but he doesn't answer us. With raised nails, he tears at his chest. Normally, beautiful songs flow through those full, beautiful lips for Nat, but now there were only dry, disorderly gasps.
リンド、羽をかけて。
Rindo, hide the feather.
わかった。
Got it. Rindo follows Monsieur's demand and stows the feather in his pocket. As though he had forgotten how to breathe, Il continues to struggle. I quickly stoop down, rubbing his back as he agonizes. Il, calm down, slow down, take a deep breath. Owner. After rubbing him for a while, I start patting at regular intervals to remind him to breathe on rhythm. As I repeat this, while still slight, Il began to normalize. However, he's still in no condition to talk.
カヌセ、このままイルを部屋に運んでくれる？
Connus, would you mind carrying Il to his room?
承知した。
I understand. While holding Il, Connus marches to the second floor. The once noisy cafe interior flips and a dull silence fills the room. After checking to make sure Il is out of sight, Rindo once again takes out the feather. What could have happened to Il? A pure white angel feather, its beauty defies the word divine. But it was almost too beautiful. Almost like it was sterile. Too cold to be admired in any kind of intimate way. It's just a feather. Timing right when Connus opens the door, I take the opportunity to leap inside alone. I shut the door. Then I place a powerful barrier on it to ward off any guests.
何をするイル？容体が落ち着くまで、せめて一人はそばについていなければ。
What are you doing, Il? One of us needs to watch over you until your condition improves.
大丈夫です。大丈夫ですから。
I'm okay. I'll be fine, so
どうか一人にしてください。
for now, leave me alone. Please. Perhaps out of heeding my begging, I hear Connus's footsteps grow faint as he walks away. Without turning on the lights, I clutch my chest once more and sit feebly on the floor.
羽はどうしてあんなものが人間界に。
That feather is... Why would something like that be in the human world?
まさか他の天使が私を探しに。
It couldn't be. Are the other angels searching for me? Calm down. It's simply a coincidence. I desperately tell myself, and as if letting down my guard would stop my breathing. However, what if it's not a coincidence? What if the angels are related to the mysterious disappearances? And if by chance they come in contact with Enchante? Leah becomes involved, a girl who adores my smiling face and my identity. What if they tell her? We're gonna learn he's like the biggest liar in the world. I ponder the further in panic. The future in panic. Don't listen to me. I can tell I've gone pale without looking in a mirror. What entered my view was the presence of a certain thing in this room. Here, finally, truly at last, I realized that I've committed a terrible blunder.
そうだ。あの作品を彼女が遊ぶということは、私の正体を。
That's right. As she plays through that title, will she discover my true identity? I can't see my own face, but I touch my cold hands to my cheek. My trembling fingertips check the pattern composing my face one by one, above the eyelids, the cheeks, and the mouth. What do I look like right now? What kind of face am I making? Isn't it distorted? Isn't something missing? Leah said she likes my smiling face.
この笑顔が偽物だと知られたら。
What will she make of my false smile? No more need for assumptions. Without reason, my head says such a warning. First, I must take countermeasures in response to the current crisis. To do that,
思考しなければいつもの私に戻れるように。
I need to think. I must return to my usual self. What does that mean? After that, I tried visiting Il's room several times, but Monsieur and the others, for some reason, he staunchly refuses any entry, so we can't even see his condition. For the time, until Il calms down, we entrust the mysterious disappearance investigation to Rindo. It's late. Monsieur's gone to the demon world. Canis and Ignis went out shopping for things possibly useful to nurse Il. As for me, it's been a while, but I opened the book Grandpa left me. A section on angels. Here it is. I trace along the letters with my fingers, following the text and illustrations. Envoys of God, a race brimming with benevolence, watchers over humanity. Huh. That's not too far from the image I always had of them. In that case, it seems unlikely that such beings would get wrapped up in kidnappings. But seeing how an angel's feather was left at the scene, it can't be coincidence. And moreover, I'm concerned about Il's terrified reaction. I noticed my game console left, forgotten on top of the table. That's right, I left it in sleep mode. I always turn mine off. It goes to sleep mode, but I like to let it rest. It needs a break. It's on too much. I can't really focus like this. I should power it off completely. As the thought comes to mind, I reach for the game console. But the moment I wake it from sleep mode, the Otome game I was playing before begins to play automatically. Right, I had it in auto mode. Before I can press the stop button. You needn't worry. With a wound like this, I know the thought of you to survive. The mysterious young man lines play. Alright, the heroine had been attacked by an animal in the forest and he had to save her. As I switch the power off, I think to myself, the more I play, the more I see Il in this guy. It went beyond the surface observations, his expressions, tones, even remarks. Wait, could he be copying this character out of respect because he likes him so much, maybe? I wouldn't know for sure without asking, but that seems like something he would do. How like Il. I put the game and book away on the shelf, then psych myself up a little. For now, maybe I'll make a float or something to help soothe Il's nerves. As I think this and exit my room. Right when I descend the second floor, I come across Eel emerging from out his room. Eel, are you feeling better?
はい、どうにか心配をかけてしまい申し訳あり
Yes,
ません。
somewhat. Forgive me for concerning you. Eel's tone as he spoke was mellow completely. His breath also looked steady. Considering how shaken up he was, I thought it would take a long time for him to calm down, but do you mind if I ask? What got you so shaken up earlier? He tilts his head at me. It seems Eel was already anticipating that I would ask it. He makes a small nod, then answers in a low bellow.
私は堕天使ですから。
It's because I'm a fallen angel.
普通の天使に見つかり捕まるとお仕置きというか再教育のようなことをされてしまうのです。
If I'm discovered and caught by normal angels, they would punish me or force me into some kind of re-education. Punish you? It was an ominous statement. But seeing how frightened Eel was, there's no mistake it's a severe punishment. I see. But I don't want to pry too much, only to disturb him once again. For now, I'll just be content that Eel is so lively again.
マスター、少しよろしいですか？例のゲームですが、今どこまで？
Leah, do you have a moment about that game? How far? A ringtone goes off, interrupting his question. Oh, that's me. Sorry, just a second. I thought it would be from Rindo calling again after returning to GPM, but the name displayed on screen belongs to an unexpected person. Hello?
いきなりごめんね。
Sorry for calling you out of the blue. It's the cheerful voice of my old friend with whom I reunited the other day. Her voice is a little on the loud side, so I'm sure Eel, who stood right next to me, could hear her. No worries, I just happened to be on break. What's up?
ちょっと遅い時間だけどさ、今から遊びに行っていい？
I know it's a bit late. Do you mind if I come through? Come through where?
そんなのあんたの店に決まってるじゃん。
Your shop,
予定
obviously.
より早く戻ってこれたからさ。店名ってアンシャンテだよね。
I got back sooner than I expected. Your shop's called Enchante, right? Wait, right now? I hurriedly checked the clock in my console's home menu. 9 p.m. The faint woman's scream I heard that night reverberated through my head. You shouldn't. Didn't you see the news? There's been mysterious disappearances close to
い
here.
やいや、神隠しって。あんたそんなの信じてるの？
Oh, please, mysterious disappearances? Do you really believe in stuff like that? People are missing. Like, what do you mean? That's not the same thing.
まあとにかく今からそっちに行くから。店の場所はアプリで調べたから大丈夫。
Anyways, I'm heading over now. I found the address in an app, so I'll be fine.
楽しみだな。あんたの入れたコーヒー飲むの。そんじゃ、また近くなったらかけるね。
Imagine telling someone no, and their reply is, I'm coming anyways. Like, oh god, you're my nightmare. I'm looking forward to it. Drinking your coffee, I mean. See you. I'll call you again when I'm there. Wait, the disappearances aren't a hoax. My desperate persuasion goes in vain and the call ends. With the incident yesterday, the worst possibilities fill my head and I can't speak.
会話の内容からして通話相手はあなたと親しい人間なのですね。
Considering the conversation's content, was the other person close to you? I nod frantically. Eel appears just a little indecisive for a moment then.
では今すぐ彼女を迎えに行きましょう。何かが起きようと起きまいと先に保護してしまえば良い話です。
Then we should go fetch her at once. Regardless of whether something occurs, it should be fine if we secure her first. Right, there's no point in standing around. Imagine basing your entire personality off a character in an Otome game and then telling someone to play that Otome game, not thinking about how they're going to catch those occurrences. I send word via SNS to Kanas and the others since it's waste time to wait for their return. Then I dash out into the night town along with Eel. What could possibly go wrong? Eel promptly determines the shortest route from her hotel to the shop and leads the way. Following that path, we run along it in search of her. Where could she be? Don't tell me she's already at the moment I think that.
捕まってください。一気に悲鳴の出所へと飛びます。
Please hold on to me. I will fly straight to the scream's origins. This is a bad idea, guys. Without waiting for my answer, Eel holds my body and takes flight. The complex interweaving alleys are no obstacle to him flying in the air. He finds the silhouette right away. Still supported by Eel, we make a soft landing. At the same time, Eel returns to his form he usually lives as at the end of his stern gaze. She collapses limply on the ground. Several shadows encircle her. They don't have enough wings. They're not cool. They only have the lower back wings. They don't got the upper back wings. Angels? Moreover, unlike Eel, their wings were pure white. Is this what angels really look like? Right, Eel, are you okay? I recall his panic in the morning and hurriedly looked over to check.
問題ありません。さすがにこの状況で動揺するわけにもいかないでしょう。
No issue. Even I couldn't lose composure in a situation like this. As he says this, Eel's faces straight at the angels.
問いましょう。かつての同胞たちを。
Allow me to ask my former brethren.
一体なぜ人間界に、そしてなぜ人間たちの誘拐などを。
Exactly why are you in the human world? Why are you snatching humans?
もしや、あのお方の命令で。
Could it be? Is this his doing?
期待はしていませんでしたが、やはり何も答えませんか。
They don't even have hands. I didn't expect much. I figured you wouldn't answer.
肯定しよう。
Correct. The angels were silent the whole time, but the man in the center finally
あのお
speaks.
方はこの世界にも信託を下し、救済されることをご決断なされた。
He decided to deliver the oracle to this world as well and save it. Oracle refers to gods transmitting their thoughts or will to those in a lower world, such as humans on Earth. In this game, it refers to God sending commands down to angels.
落ち天使よ。お前も本来の役目に戻り、あのお
Oh,
方のご意志を叶え
fallen
た。
angel, return to your original duties and follow his will. I pause, wondering what they mean. But as I turn, I see a beam of light draw a magic circle around my friend. Before I could say anything,
させません。
I won't allow it. Suddenly, light flies by like wind and pierces the wing of one of the angels. When I look over, a round eel is gracefully in a when I look over, a round eel in graceful stance. Several magic circles are dazzling lights in the form of crosses have appeared.
マスター、戦闘の前に確認を。
Leah, before I engage in battle,
周囲への被害を最小限にとどめ、かつ友人に傷をつけない状態で奪還すれば良いのですね。
you want me to minimize the collateral damage and recover your friend without injury, correct? Can you do that?
可能ですとも。
Possibly. With a smile, countless arrows of light fly out of the magic circles in all directions. He takes aim at the angels scattered about and shoots them all at once. The arrows instantly hit several of the angels and slam their bodies into the ground. Upon seeing this, the remaining angels attempt to flee.
人間たちに。いいえ、マスターの心に害を与えている以上、多少のダメージは覚悟しなさい。
For the damage you've done to mankind, no, to Leah's heart. Expect to take some damage. Without a single pause, Il activates his second attack. With even more speed than before, the sharp weapons of light illuminate the gloomy alleyway. Regardless of by air or land, the angels who tried to flee are mercifully shot in the wings and legs. With a flutter, a countless number of battered feathers fall to the dirty ground. And one beat later, all the angels feebly drop to the ground.
やはり加減をすると大したダメージは与えられませんね。
It seems holding back really does little damage. I think it's more than enough. But it's true, while the angels are unconscious, none of their wounds seem fatal. Maybe this is Il's mercy.
さて、一段落しましたし。
Anyway, with that settled, soon, with a leisurely pace unthinkable after a battle, Il advances along the night road. He heads towards the angel right in the front of my friend, kneeling, unable to
そ
move.
ちらの女性を返してもらいましょうか。
Now, could you return that woman to us? With a gentle smile that could be taken as friendly, Il doesn't wait for the angel's reply and extends his hand towards her. But before his delicate fingers reach her, from far in the night sky, light comes flying down like a shooting star.
おや
Oh. In an alley's melancholy air, Il, with his pure white skin, has his right arm sliced off. What? The splashing sound of flowing, falling blood. With the smell of iron, the cut off arm falls into the center of the puddle. The white sleeve, cut off along with it, slowly soaks into red colors. As though waiting for this opportunity, the collapsed angel disappears into surges of light. However, right now, more important than that, I want to believe this is a dream. With a trembling body, I fearfully look at Il, but no matter how many times I look, below his right elbow, there's nothing. Just dripping red. I scream with no voice. First aid. Contact everyone. I need to do something. As I toil with indecision, watching the tragedy unfold before my eyes, my body won't do what I tell it to.
油断しましたね。離れた場所に光栄がいましたか。丁寧に転送の下準備までして。
I was careless, so they had a rear guard in the distance and careful preparation for teleportation. However, he himself seems totally unconcerned.
それにしても、よりによって利き腕を飛ばすとは不便ではないですか。
Regardless, to sever my dominant arm of all things, how inconvenient. He sighs in a somewhat pouty way, using his left arm and the rest of his body. Il carries my friend over to me. He totally ignores the angel who fled and his own injury. Drip, drip. Blood still drips from his severed right arm.
はい、どうぞ。約束通り無傷で取り戻しましたよ。
He's got an arm right there. Here you go. As promised, I returned her to you unharmed. He looks happy about it. With an innocent smile, he holds her out to me. Sure, of course, I'm happy she's safe, but... Ill. Hi, Ari. Hello. My breaths are trembling. How could he, despite such a wound, despite bleeding so much, smile like he normally would?
どうしましたマスター。もしや人違いではありませんよね。
I won't lie, that would be hilarious if this wasn't her friend after all that. Is something the matter, Leah? This isn't the wrong person, right? Everything was the matter. Yo, your arm! You're bleeding!
この程度の傷であればすぐに修復できますが。
A wound like this can be repaired quite quickly. But doesn't it hurt? We need to hurry and stop the bleeding.
いえ、ですからすぐに治りますよ。
No need. I told you it would recover quickly. The conversation goes in circles and I'm the one to lose. The moment the choking smell of blood from his body reaches me, my vision goes blurry. I know I shouldn't at a time like this, but I just can't stop it. Tears start spilling from my eyes. What? I'm sorry, Il. Why are you being so... He's fine. It's all because I told her about Enchante in the first place. She knew about Enchante when she saw you. Because of me, you've been hurt. As I cry and apologize, Il lowers my friend to the ground and starts to babble in confusion.
待ってください。 どうしてあなたがこの程度のことで泣くのです？
Please wait a moment. Why are you? Is this something to cry over?
きちんと友人を取り戻したのですよ。今回は失敗もせず、周囲に被害も与えていません。
I recovered your friend, right? Without failure this time, and I didn't damage our surroundings.
私は喜んでくれると、笑ってくれると思ったのに。
See, look, you're breaking this guy's heart. I thought you would be happy. I thought you would smile, so why? I discovered your VOD channel. I've been watching some of your Winter Wishes streams. Winter Wish hurts my feelings still. If you have watched any of the Virtue Evermore, that is a 90 hours worth of VOD right there. And that one also hurts my feelings. And I feel like Winter's Wish and Virtue Evermore are very similar games in terms of like who the main character is and what's going on in the world. Are you enjoying Winter's Wish so far? Have you got a favorite yet? I thought you would be happy. I thought you would smile. So why? You're breaking this poor boy. After going silent for a while, Il moves his uninjured left arm and grasps my hand. He gives me a warm, reassuring smile. Oh, I'm
心配
nervous.
しないでください。この程度の怪我、あなたのことを思えば大したものではありません。
Okay, if you weren't watching earlier, she's playing an Otomi game that he recommended, and which is also just so funny. This is a direct line from that, which is why she's hearing two voices overlapping. So she's hearing the guy from the Otomi game say that. Please don't worry. This wound is nothing. The thought of you is enough to ensure that. That voice and that smile. It was uncanny. Uncanny Valley, if you will. Wait. Without doubt, it played out exactly as it had in the Otomi game. It was practically the same line. I shiver. A strange chill runs up my back. Regardless of how fond he was of him, remember, your friend is unconscious on the ground right now. Copying it out of respect, even in a situation like this, is kind of lame. Il, are you... Suddenly, strength leaves Il's neck. What? I think Tomonari and Yoichi might be my favorites. Tomonari is Jay's favorite, and Yoichi is Asia's favorite. Asia hasn't popped in recently, but those are their two favorites. My favorite was Kinji. I love Kinji. I've been playing the game myself, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to like Tojo, and I want to get to the later routes faster, so I've been watching his route instead. Tojo was I played his route first, actually, didn't I? So yeah, I played mine in the order of the people I like the least. I didn't like his route that much. Maybe Otaro as well, but I'll see what he's like in his route. I'm kind of spoiling myself a little on his route. Otaro was my second favorite. Even after playing through, he's still my second favorite. He was just a little snake. He's just a little snaky snake. I'm like, you keep disappearing. You're weird. I like you. What's up? And he's unapologetic. Well, he is, but like he isn't at first. So he's very sweet the way he is. I think Otaro was a great character. I like his design as well. Suddenly, strength leaves Il's neck. This part confuses me. Il? I hurriedly call to him as he hangs his head, losing consciousness. So you really were just forcing yourself. That wound must hurt. I was an idiot for thinking about Otomi games in this situation. The details can wait for later. I need to prioritize stopping his bleeding. I'm picturing him like a zombie right now. Like he's just like, he said something sweet. He's missing his right arm. And then he just goes. Though Kinji has the same voice actor as Sasuke, so maybe I'll end up liking him as well. Yes. In fact, I think if you continue to watch the VODs, I mentioned that like 20 times. Sasuke is my favorite Collar X Malice character, and he does not change his voice. He's also the flirtiest of them all, which I like. I like a guy that teases a little bit, so like he had that flavor as well. I would say their characters honestly are kind of similar, except Sasuke wasn't like flirting a lot with you. Like he was just very serious. He was a serious dude who was all like, you should realize I like you already. Alright, I reach for his torn garment thinking it could be used to bind his wounds. Dude, is he turning into a zombie? And a soft voice ill starts muttering
ダメー
something.
ジを確認。肉体損傷 10% を超過。自己再生プログラムを起動。
I kind of thought this when they did the Matrix earlier. Is he just a robot? Are angels real? Are angels just robots? Damage confirmed. Bodily injury is in excess of 10%, activating self-regeneration
霊
program.
力の代替エネルギーとして地下の流脈より気を組み上げ変換。肉体の再構築を開始します。
Gathering and converting key from ley line underground as alternative to spirit energy, commencing reconstruction of body. Ley line refers to energy lines flowing underground according to studies such as in feng shui. What? Ill's body is engulfed in a silver light. Ill is the robot android confirmed. I think that kind of feels like that, right? That seems more like that than an angel. Or angels robots this whole time. Are we all in a matrix right now? Like, what? It does explain how he does like data scans. He's like, I scan the area. It's not magic. It's just he's just literally a robot. What a plot twist. He's a robot, not a person. Or sorry, not an angel. To protect my eyes from the glare, my eyelids ignore my will and forcibly seal off my vision. Several seconds later, I sense the light has faded and fearfully open my eyes. Then I see Ill looking down at his perfectly healed right arm. When I look over, his right arm and the blood pooled on the ground have vanished without a trace. However, despite his wound being healed, his facial expression is still one of unease. He's worried about you, right?
マスター、今私は何か妙な発言をしていませんでしたか？
So he knows. Oh my god, he's got a split personality. He doesn't even know when he turns into a robot. Yeah, just now, did I happen to say anything strange out loud? I couldn't answer at all. But my silence was taken as an answer to his question. Ill is shaken by this strange occurrence being seen. I can tell to a painful degree. Okay, is he Chi from Chobits? Is this what's happening? He's like, I need a personality. I'm gonna steal someone's personality, but inside me is another person with a completely different personality. It's complicated. How weird. I'm so confused. Angels are just robots. Tell that to the church. Afterward, Ignis and the others who saw my message came rushing over. Thanks to Rindo dealing with the matter, my friend who was almost taken by the angels is brought to a hospital instead. As for Ill, whose right arm was cut off, despite being fully healed, Ignis and the others threw him into an empty room for treatment and told him to rest in bed. The whole time, he and I didn't exchange a single word. She's giving him the silent treatment.
なるほど。本当に天界の天使たちが誘拐事件の犯人だったとはね。
I still like that her friend was like, she's like, hey, don't come over. People have been going missing at night. And she's all like, that, you believe in things like that. I'm coming over. You're so silly. People are missing. Like, it might be weird how they go missing, but they were missing. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So the angels from Kelm are the culprits behind the string of abductions.
天の使いが人さらいね。天界っつうのはそんなろくでもねえ場所なのか？
Angels kidnapping people. Since when is heaven such a scummy place?
しかし。
However, all the regulars excluding Monsieur, who was in the demon world, were conscious of Eel. I wonder, like, if they could make something where you could contact them when they're in their other worlds. Like, they haven't brought anything up like that. Like, we can't contact him, he's in the demon world. We can't open the door because we're not from the demon world. I get that. I'm still convinced that Monsieur's demon world isn't really demonic at all. I feel like he's in a whole nother place. Who's your favorite so far in this game? My favorite is Ignis, this guy right up here. He's my favorite so far. He reminds me of Kyo from Fruits Basket. Probably not the best kind of person to like want to date, but he's my favorite. I thought Canis was really cute. I get he has no head, but his route was so short, and I felt like they gypped him on CGs because he didn't have a face. They could have worked harder. And we saw, hang on, I'll remember his name, Rindo without a shirt on. Technically, Ignis in his normal outfit is shirtless constantly. Il's shirt is super low. I feel like Canis got gypped. We didn't see him shirtless. Seems like a shame. They had options. Ignis is the one who made you want this game. I mean, look at him. He looks so much like Kyo. And then he makes like Kyo eyes. Like he has like those straight, like half oval eyes where he's just like, huh? So yeah, he's my favorite so far. So he's the one I'm playing next because you have to play his route before you can play Monsieur's. I think Monsieur is interesting. I'm not like the hugest fan of his design. I feel like he's confusing because he has horns and then he has the little, looks like cat ears, and I feel like he has too much going on. But who knows? He could blow my mind when I get to his route. He is the one they want you with, so I'm waiting to find out. All the regulars, excluding Monsieur, who's in the demon world, were conscious of Il. I admit everything I can remember about what happened at the time as they sat attentively.
天使たちがイルに誘拐の協力を促したというのは
There is no mistake that the angels asked Il to aid them in the abductions. I nod without saying a word. With my response, Rindo sighs deeply.
何が目的かはわからないけど、しばらくはイルの動向をきちんと監視する必要があるかな。
We don't know what their goal is, but it seems they have been monitoring Il's movement for some time. I'm going to scooch closer to my desk. Hang on. There we go. Rindo, that's... explains a lot of things, actually. I can understand what he means. Has the person who monitors Enchante, if any of the non-humans act strangely, Rindo must act accordingly as per his duty as a member of the GPM.
我もまさかとは思うが
Yeah, but they've been
天
letting
界と天使
Il get
そ
away
の
with
双方には
everything.
謎が多いのも事実林道の懸念は
I'm concerned about Il's route because Jay said Il's route made her cry. So I have some concerns. I find it hard to believe as well, but Calum and the angels are full of mystery. Rindo's concerns are appropriate.
下手すりゃあいつが自覚してねっつうパターンもあり得るしな。
Hell, it's possible he wasn't even aware of it. That Il is being used somehow by the angels? Is he being used? He turned into a robot. That's fine. After nodding, Ignis starts to run his hand through his hair.
つか今まで意識してこなかったけどよ。そもそもあいつなんで人間界に完全についてんだ？
Actually, I never thought of it until now. Why does he live in the human world in the first place? Also, when her grandpa closed the door, he was back in Calum, wasn't he? I'm confused on how that works.
打天使だから追われてるっつっても、あいつの実力なら大抵のやつはぶっ飛ばせるだろ。
For the Otome games, of course, Ignis. Yeah, like, don't you understand? He's never been to one of the cafes. He doesn't understand. I was talking about how jealous I was. I want to go to a cafe so bad. We want to go to Japan again. We have so many more ambitions for our next trip to Japan. Like, we've learned things. We were only in Japan for 2 weeks, and it was like before COVID. It was like 2018. And after going, there's more I want to do, so I need to go back. We also picked the worst time. We went in the summer. It's the worst time to go to Japan. Everything was hot. It's very humid there. I live in a very dry altitude. My bangs in humidity clump up. Non-stop, by the way. I had a horrible bang emergency the entire time. Even if he's being hunted as a fallen angel, seeing how strong he is, he could just blow them all away. That's something they haven't mentioned either yet, which I'm sure we'll get more on that, is why is he so much stronger than the other ones? Ignis, you don't know?
ああ、アンシャンテはそのあたり互いに不干渉ってか気にしねえのが暗黙のルールだったからな。
None of us who come to Enchante do so to get the dirt on each other. Keeping quiet is an unspoken rule.
そこんとこどうなんだよ、カヌス。ここの最古さんはお前だろ。
What about you, Connus? You've been here the longest, right?
それなのだが、
Yes, but
我もまたお前と同様に、イルの事情や初来展示のことを何も知らぬのだ。
I just realized too, in Connus's route, when you play through it all the way, you realize that he knew MC as a kid because he was a regular even when she was a kid. And I kind of thought you'd get kind of similar stories from all of them, but that didn't happen with Rindo. Rindo's route talks about her grandpa, and her grandpa like talked to Rindo a few times, but like there was no correlation between them having known each other. Although I'm totally down for a baby Ignis coming to Enchante as a little baby, and running into her, because if she was 4, he would have been 10. So 10-year-old Ignis in Enchante, cutest thing I could probably picture. Much like you, I know nothing about Ill's circumstances or about when he came to this shop.
気づいた時には存在していたとしか説明できん。
From what I remember, he wasn't here, then one day he was. That's all I recall.
は
Huh? With Connus's remarks, everyone's eyes open wide.
当時、アンシャンテに来店していた人外は、我とミシェルの2人のみだったのだが、
At the time, the only non-humans at Enchante were myself and Monsieur.
我には一時、長期にわたりメディオへと帰還していた時期があってな。
There was a time when I returned to Medio for a long period.
そこから戻ってきたら、
When I returned, it's gonna look different or the same.
ああ、カヌスおかえり。ほら、君も挨拶しなよ。
Ah, Connus, welcome back. Go on. It's your turn to meet him.
はじめまして。あなたもこの店の常連なのですね。私はイルファドでリエと申します。
Pleased to meet you. I take it you're another regular at this shop. I am Il Fado de Rio. I can't even. Is that right? Did I say it? Did I do it?
ミシェルと共に当然のようにカウンターに座るイルの姿があったのだ。
Along with Monsieur, he was sitting at the counter like it was natural. I see now. No wonder he doesn't know anything. That means Il came to the shop while Connus was away. Does that mean Grandpa and Monsieur were the ones to welcome him?
いや、振り返ればイルはあまりに早くこの店に馴染んだように思う。
No, thinking back, Il was far too quick to grow accustomed to life at this shop.
アンシャンテにもともといた彼の存在に我が気がついていなかったという線もあり得るな。
It's possible that I never noticed his existence at Enchante before that time.
何にせよ、イル本人と
What?
当時のことを知ってるミシェルに話を聞かねえと始まらねえな。
It doesn't matter. We need to ask Il himself and Monsieur, who was around at that time, to even start figuring this out. That's right. Calum, angels. I had never made the connection before, but now it was all clearing up. What connection? However, what was that strange condition Il was in before? That reminds me, the other angels spoke in a similar way. There was no tone to their voice. I always had a divine, dignified image of angels in my mind. What exactly are angels? Guys, what are angels? Answer me. Oh no. Just trying to get the right TV channel right now, it seems. Calling. Speaking. 2 figures. They smile softly at me. Why? Why me? Why a face like that of all things? No matter what I think, I fail to understand, but I feel compelled to respond. If I don't answer that gentle voice, I sense without any basis that I'll lose something, but I don't know how to answer. So instead, I try to extend my hand. Ah, I just wanted to hear it one more time. That voice. I extend my hands to the figures. I'm so close to reaching them. The figures vanish. What is happening? This is computer sci-fi, right? We're on the same page. This isn't normal. What appears in their place is red. Red, red. Not red, but red, red. Sinking into it are two. I shout words without meaning and leap. While not as bad as this morning, my breathing is rough. I desperately try to calm it and survey my surroundings to get a grasp on my location. In an empty room at Enchante. Right, the moment we returned, Ignis and the others forced me to go to bed. Still,
なぜ今さらこの記憶が
why this memory now of all times? You tell me, Il. What was that? I blame the contact with the angels. So they really did seem to know about me. Fortunately, they didn't speak of my background. However, I think that's only a matter of time. So it's still possible to deal with this. In short, I need to restrain the angels myself before they contact Leah and hand them over to GPM. Furthermore, right now, I need to prioritize consideration of something else.
マスター
Leah. I cannot shake the image of her crying face out of my mind. She shed tears while grieving at the death of the school of Pakus. But this time, unlike last time, nobody died. Why did she cry? Was it something I did?
なぜ
This poor, sweet, innocent boy. Why? With staggered steps, I rise from bed and return to my own room. I reach for the game console set near my hammock. It's not powered on. How far must she have progressed into this? Calculating from the time she started, there's no mistake that she's begun approaching the truth. My brain calls for stillness. Any further is dangerous. Don't get taken in. I've long understood such a thing. However, in the end, this is all I have to cling to. Gazing at the screen shows only my own face seeking an answer. I repeat,
どうしてあなたと同じことをしたはずなのに
why? I know I played it just as you have.
わからないわからな
I don't understand. I don't. My head creaks. What is this uncertainty swirling in my chest? This would also explain why he understands technology so well if he's a robot. Just putting that out there, putting that in the ether. For some reason, slowly, inside my head, an unknown black thing swells within my cranium. Enchante, what the heck? Oh. Thought it was a new screen, honestly. The plan progresses without any deviation. Soon, that thing will manifest a nova of mental instabilities in him.
現状拘束済みの個体は全て揃っているな。
Currently captured specimens are sufficient in number. Oh. At my voice, the fools with black stained wings thrash about in exaggerated motions. I don't know what they would complain about, but there's no need to know. I simply fulfill the task entrusted to me
落ちし天使たちよ。
of fallen angels.
我らが神はお前たちに許しの機会を与えた。
Our God has bestowed the chance for forgiveness unto you.
それをつかみ取りたければ
If you wish to seize it, I narrow my eyes and declare,
断罪の運命に打ち勝ってみせよ。
overcome your fate of judgment. This voice sounds familiar, but I could be wrong.
どうか元気を出してください。私はあなたの笑顔が見たいのです。
Please cheer up. I want to see your smiling face.
私にできることはありませんか？あなたが望むことなら、どんな奇跡でも起こしてみせましょう。
Is there anything I can do? If you desire, then I shall move heaven and earth to do it. I cut the power. This isn't the time to play games. Well, I know that. When I spotted this when I woke up in the morning, I was too curious to leave it. I play a bit more. I feel that. Even I know why I decided to turn the power on. It's just there was a vague anxiety in my heart. This game could hold some sort of key, or at least I hoped. I need to have a meeting with everyone soon. I should go downstairs. Cute. What meeting, you may ask? Of course it has to be with the abductions. Classically. Even though it hasn't been a whole day, the amount of kidnappings was growing, and hubbub would soon become impossible for GPM to keep secret. If it was all over Japan, or also overseas, an excuse could still be made. But the missing people only come from this town, from this vicinity of Enchante. Due to this, GPM increased their surveillance on Il significantly. In the middle of this, Rindo makes a bitter face, arriving with a certain person in tow.
GPM 上層部より正式な要請が下りた。
His face is indeed bitter. GPM upper management has made a formal request.
天界カイルムの神隠しに加担している打天使の身柄引き渡しを要求する。
He did not assist. They demand the handover of the fallen angel for assisting Callum in their abductions. Everyone seems unsurprised and no one moves. Earlier this morning, Mystia returned. We hoped to speak with him about Callum and the angels, yet they came at the worst possible timing. As expected, Monsieur makes a displeased face and looks straight at Mr. Assistant.
それを聞いてさ、俺たちが素直に「はいどうぞ」なんだって応じると本気で思ってるの？
After hearing that, we'd just say, here you go. Nope, fat chance buster.
第一君さ、開発部の下っ端でしょ？何の権限があってそんなことを言ってるのかな？
First off, you're a subordinate in a research department. What authority do you have to make this arrest?
いや、それが実は彼ちょこちょこ情報課にも出向に来てて。
No, that's... Truthfully, he works for the intelligence division.
その縁で辞令を下された。この店に対し市場を挟む林道薫に代わり、私へ監視役を任ずると。
Therefore, I was reappointed since Ko Rindos favors this shop is a conflict of interest. I am your new monitor. I'm sure Rindo tried to oppose that, but it was no good. I knew that to be the case, while Rindo probably has no desire to help him, makes no attempt to obstruct him.
そちらにどのような事情があっても、イルの身柄を引き渡すわけにはいかん。
Regardless of your circumstances, we cannot hand Il over to you.
なぜお前たちの許可が必要なのか。
Why would I require your approval?
何？
What?
我らはこの店の所有者たる人外の管理者。つまり マスターに対し交渉を持ちかけている。
We only seek to negotiate with the manager of this shop and its non-humans, in other words, the owner.
ただの客に過ぎないお前たちに口を挟む権利はない。
You are nothing more than guests. You have no right to interject. The conversation suddenly swings to me. That's not possible. Suddenly demanding us to hand Il over to you is too much. Without hesitation, I refuse. Stay calm, I say. This to myself and face Mr. Assistant. True, Il has secrets, but I'm the owner of Enchante. I need to trust my regular customers more than some unknown researcher. Of course, Il has some sort of relationship to the angels. After all, they came from the same homeland and they're the same race, but isn't it too much to suspect him of that just because of that?
奴が天使たちの協力要請を受けたという証言をしたのは他ならぬお前のはずだ。
He received a request from them for assistance. You were the one to prove such a testimony. That's true, but Il fought them. He saved my friend. Isn't that better evidence than anything that he refused that request?
あらかじめ奴らと辻褄を合わせ演技をした可能性もある。
It's possible that it was an act arranged beforehand to make that story seem coherent. Is there any proof of that? Silence must indicate otherwise. I start to stay silent to press the point further, but I take a big breath. I believe in Il. There's no way he would help with kidnappings.
いかなる理由を根拠にした宣誓なのか。
What reasons do you have to declare that? Huh? My body stiffens at the unexpected rebuttal. Mr. Assistant's cold voice resounds from under his hood. For some reason, I feel an unexplained sense of dread. Because Il is really honest.
素直。それがあの打天使の正しき本質だと。
Honesty? Is that fallen angel's true
天
nature?
使の生態を完璧に理解した上で、お前は間違いないと断言できるのか。
He's making some good points, guys. Do you fully understand the nature of angels to declare that for certain? I want to say, of course. Gotta think about when he turned into a robot.
霊力のだ
Memory flashes by my head, blocking my throat from objecting. I thought he would mercifully press the point, but contrary to my expectation, Mr. Assistant doesn't question
根
further.
拠がなくとも、引き渡しに拒否の意を示されたのは事実。だが、こちらにも決定的な証拠がない。
Regardless of the lack of basis, it's true you expressed refusal to his arrest. However, we also lack definitive evidence.
強硬策に出たとして、5年前の戦闘と同じ結果になるのは明らか。
As for using force, it's clear that the results would be similar to the battle 5 years
よ
ago.
って、交渉方針を変更する。
Therefore, we shall change the negotiation.
妥協案として、天使の捕獲計画への協力をお前たちに要請しよう。
As a compromise, we would like to request your assistance with the angel's arrest plan. Angel arrest?
肯定だ。実行は今晩。この条件を飲むのなら、打天使の身柄引き渡しを要求しない。
Affirmative. Execution is tonight. If you accept this condition, we will not request handover the fallen angel. I look around at everyone to see if it would be dangerous to accept.
僕は悪くはない意見だと思う。天使たちを捕まえて真実を語らせれば、イルの無実は証明されるし。
You've established that angels are the strongest of all non-humans. Do you think you can catch an angel? Also, they keep calling Il a fallen angel, but his wings are pretty close to white. Like, what are they trying to say here? I'm so confused. I think it's not a bad idea if we capture the angels and get them to spill the truth. It would prove Il's innocence.
だな。それにこのまま天使どもの好き勝手にさせんのはうざってえし。
And I don't like sitting around letting those angels do whatever they want.
馴染みのある人間たちに被害が及ぶのも好ましくない。
harming humans we're familiar with isn't favorable either. With Rindo's advice, Canis and Ignis nod in approval. Only Monsieur maintains his silence. But I want to prove Il's innocence too. I understand. We'll cooperate in whatever way we can. Following the majority vote, I give the final answer as the owner.
けど、捕獲っつってもどうすんだよ。罠でも張んのか。
But arrest? How are you gonna do that? Are you gonna set up a trap?
皇帝。おとりを用い天使が行動を起こすのを待つ。
Affirmative. We shall use a lure and wait for the angels to act. A lure, you say? Don't tell me you're going to use a person. It's you. There, Rindo shakes his head in
そ
denial.
れはさすがに厳しいだろうから、ミシェルに幻覚とか、そういう類の協力を頼めると、こっちはありがたいんだけどね。
There'd be too harsh. Would be grateful if Monsieur could use an illusion or get some other help along those lines.
もちろん、できなくはないよ。
Of course I could do that. However,
俺、夜はどうしても魔界に帰らなきゃいけないんだよね。
at night I need to return to the demon world. Right, you always go back every day, at least before the turn of date.
うん。だから作戦に参加しても途中離脱が濃厚だね。
So even if I join the operation, I'd leave in the middle, most
今す
likely.
ぐ魔界に戻っていいなら、もろもろ用事を片付けてくるから、たとえ夜でも余裕で手伝うんだけどさ。
If I can go to the demon world right now, I could take care of various business and help out even during the night.
その意見を却下する。お前たち自身も、あの打天使に対する協力関係の疑いがある。
I reject that idea. You are also suspected of cooperating with the fallen
よ
angel.
って、作戦開始まで人間界を離れることを禁ずる。
Thus, you are forbidden from leaving the human world before the operation.
当然禁を破れば、あの打天使に対する権威は深まり、より今後の自由に制限がかかるものと思え。
Of course, if you break this prohibition, suspicion of the fallen angel will deepen, so expect his freedom to be restricted. Why? That means Monsieur is going to be forced to leave in the middle of everything. By the way, do you have any intent on letting Il join the operation?
容疑者に参加する資格があるとでも。
You think a main suspect should participate? Right.
ならばメディオから現実に長けた妖精を何匹か連れてこよう。
In that case, I shall bring several fairies from Medio proficient in illusion magic.
少々扱いには困るだろうが、女王からの命令があればどうにかできるであろう。
While a little difficult to handle, if commanded by the queen, they should do it. At Canis' suggestion, Mr. Assistant says it would be useful and makes arrangements for time. Then he accepts a temporary return.
よし、じゃあ決まりだな。
Alright, then it's settled. Taking Ignis hitting his two clenched fist. That'd be this. This is not that. This is two clenched fists together. This is one clenched fist with a hand on top. That is not what's happening in this photo. As a signal, the plan is set. It will execute tonight. We projected the time of the next kidnapping, which is when the fairies will scatter decoys. Canis and Ignis, along with multiple DPM personnel, will patrol the area. If any angels trip a trap, they'll rush over and restrain them. Trip a trap. Aren't you excited by that? It just sounds funny. Rindo will be at the GPM headquarters to take command of Intelligence Division personnel. Me and the suspect Eel, along with Mr. Assistant as a monitor, will stay in the shop. Monsieur will also stay at the shop on standby and will rush over if something happens. But he's also a suspect. Do you want a suspect to help? I know I'd just get in the way, but I hated not being able to contribute. After the roles were divided out, I was sighing in dejection when...
女子くんだっけ 一つ意見させてもらっていい？
Mr. Assistant, was it? Mind if I share a thought? With a face hard to read for emotion, Monsieur speaks to Mr.
わ
Assistant.
ざわざ夜を待たなくてもさ、今すぐに天使を捜索すればいい話じゃない？
You don't have to wait until night. Why not just search for the angels right
ビル
away?
では人払いにも限界がある。
Earlier hours mean more people.
そんなのこっちの認識阻害でどうとでもなるよね。
But we can use perception obstruction to take care of that.
発見したとして、人のいる場で戦闘が発生した場合、その席を GPM が追い切れる保証はない。
Even if we discover them if a battle commenced in a crowded area, there's no guarantee GPM could bear full responsibilities. Neither hide their suspicions, and the two silently press their view into the others.
これ以上の議論は無駄と判断する。
Take the hood off.
異を唱えるほど、打天使への疑いが深まると知れ。
Any further argument is useless. Bear in mind that any further objections will deepen suspicion towards the fallen
で
angel.
は、監視業務のため、私にも部屋を提供してもらおう。
Now then, I have surveillance work to do. I'll be borrowing a room. Oh, in that case, there's an
アベ
empty.
カリアの検査の際、内部構造は把握している。案内は不要だ。
I have a grasp on the interior layout from the medical examination of Kadia Abe before. Guidance is not required. Mr. Assistant cuts off the dispute on his end, then quietly goes up the stairs. The inside of the shop is suddenly silent. During this, Canis walks over to Monsieur.
ミシェル、お前にも問いたいことがある。作戦まで時間がない。担当直入に聞くぞ。
Monsieur, I have something to ask as well. There's little time until the operation, so I'll be direct. While he initially tilts his head in puzzlement at Canis' stern words, Monsieur quickly goes back to
思え
listening.
ばお前は以前からイルのことを気にかけていたな。外出制限などの過保護が最たる例だろう。
Now that I think about it, since before you've always been concerned with Eel, extremely so. By restricting his outings.
ミシェル、イルが外出すること。
そりゃ、そこまでか。
みんな
Is Monsieur also an angel? Just curious.
今までは我と同様、イルの危うさに影響されているものだと思っていたが、
Until now, I thought you were the same as me, influenced by Eel's risky behavior.
実際は違うのではないか。
But in reality, that's incorrect, isn't it?
今回の一件やイルの過去について何か知っているからこそ悟られぬよう彼を庇護していたのではないか。
The latest incident in Eel's past, you know something about him that makes you protect him to keep it from coming to light, don't you? That really was direct. Everyone here waits for Monsieur to start moving his lips. After a lengthy silence, Monsieur slightly averts his gaze under Canis' questionings. Then,
知らないよ。何も。むしろ知ってたらどんなに良かったことか。
I know nothing at all. In fact, if I knew, it would have been much better. He mutters this somewhat bitterly. Afterwards, at the same time, Rinda returns to GPM for the operation.
おはようございます。
Good morning. With an almost singing, elegant yawn, Il comes down the stairs. Effects of the day before's injury or agitation from the events. It's as though not a single trace remains of such a thing. Without noticing my sense of discomfort, Il heads at his own pace to an empty seat.
おはようってお前、降りてこねえと思ったらマジで寝てやがったのか。
Morning? I thought you weren't coming back down, so you really did go to sleep?
昨日おとなしく寝ろと指示したのはあなたとカヌスでは？私はそれに従ったまでですが。
But yesterday, weren't you and Canis the ones who said to sleep? I simply complied with that.
そうだな。てめえはそういうやつだったよ。
That's right, you were that kind of guy.
誘拐の嫌疑がかかっているとは思えぬほどののんきさだな。
You're quite leisurely for someone suspected of abduction.
嫌疑？何の話です？
Suspected? What do you mean? You see, with a bit of awkwardness, I start talking to Il when Il lightly presses his temples and groans. Are you okay? You must really still feel unwell.
いえ、大丈夫です。それよりも話の続きをお願いしても？
No, I'm fine. More importantly, could you continue? Is he really okay? While concerned, I explained the general situation to Il.
なるほど。確かにこの状況では私に疑いの目がかかるのは仕方のないことですね。
I see. True, in a situation like this, it can't be helped that the eyes of suspicion would fall on me. That's putting it lightly.
しかし事実ですので、ここで違うとわめいたところで容疑が晴れるわけでもありません。
Still, it's the truth. Even if I shouted that's wrong, the suspicion wouldn't be dispelled.
ですが本当に全員で天使の捕獲を？どうもそれにだけは抵抗が。
Did my phone just say? Weird. However, are you really all going to apprehend the angels? I have some opposition to that.
お前への疑いを晴らすためだっての。ぶつくさ文句言うんじゃねえ。
It's to clear up the suspicions on you. Quit complaining about it.
いる。この際だ。展開がいかなる世界なのか。お前の口から語ってはくれぬか。
Yeah, with this opportunity, what kind of world is Callum? Can you tell us from your own mouth?
それなら以前林道の聞き取り調査の際に語りましたよ。美しい世界だと。
I already spoke about that during the investigation with Rindo. I said it's a beautiful world. Classy. Oh, my Grand Theft Auto finally downloaded. I might play Grand Theft Auto. I got it because it was on Supercell, so we'll see how it goes. For some reason, everyone looked at me at the same time. Just a feeling, but they want me to start talking with Il and get information out of him, I think. Fine, I don't mind. Then for start, I said this and start searching for words that Il will swallow. What kind of world is it? I can already see asking like that will only get vague answers just like that. In that case, alright, it's settled. About Calum, besides angels and fallen angels, what kind of things exist in that world?
神がいますね。
God is there. I see. Kami. Got it. God.
神？
God? He said it so casually, everyone shout out in surprise at the same time. But by God, you mean that God?
はい。天使が仕える天上のお方です。
Yeah, the one in heaven who angels serve. What?
さすがにこれは予想外かな。
Can't say I expected this.
なぜ皆がそこまで驚いているのかはわかりませんが。
I don't understand. Why is everyone so surprised? It seems like Il decided we wanted more details about God.
天使たちにとって神、あのお方の命令は絶対です。逆に言えば、それ以外の理由で行動することはない。
To the angels, God, his commands are absolute. On the other hand, there's no other reason to act.
堕天使はその命令に背くか、あのお方が定めた法を破り落ちた存在。私もそれに該当しますね。
Fallen angels are beings who either ignore such commands or break the laws he established. That applies to me.
ほうだ。
お前んとこにも人間界みてえなめんどくさいルールがあんだな。
The law? So you guys have annoying rules, just like the human world?
まあ。
Yes, well. Alright, I'm listening.
だとすると、今回の神隠しはまさに文字通り、神本人が企ててるってわけね。
In that case, the mysterious disappearances now are literally planned by your god himself. Il nods.
ですが、どうにも解せぬことが。以前林道にも語っていましたが、展開は非常に閉鎖的な世界です。
However, there's something I don't understand. I told Rindo about this before, but heaven is an extremely insular world.
ホールの件もありますし、異世界に対する警戒程度はしますが、それ以外には徹底的に無関心を貫きます。
Including the wormhole incident, they're very wary about other worlds, but other than that, they're completely indifferent.
故に人間を誘拐するなど、自らトラブルを起こすような真似はしないはずなのですが。
To abduct humans, they wouldn't do something to cause trouble for themselves.
戦争でも起こす気なんじゃねえのか？人間界を支配してとか。
Are they trying to start a war? Like to conquer the world?
昔そんなノリのやつがここのゲートから出てきたじゃねえか。コテンパンにして送り返したけどよ。
In the past, there were guys who came out from other gates to do that. We beat them up and sent them packing.
いえ、それだけは断じてありえません。
No, I can't declare that to be possible.
なんで断言できんだよ。
How are you so sure?
神が最も嫌う行為だからです。あのお方が最優先とするのは天界の安寧という名の普遍。
The act would be that what God dislikes most. His highest priority is peace in heaven. No other world is What? No other world? That act would be what God dislikes most. His highest priority is peace in heaven. In other words, perpetuity. I don't know how I got all those words
益や
wrong
発
just
展
then.
が得られると分かっていても、カエルムに変化をもたらす要因はすべて排除する。
Even in the name of progress, any proposal that disrupts the natural order of Calum is rejected.
それが天界における絶対的な法なのです。
That is the absolute law of the heavenly world.
要するに現状維持至上主義。良くも悪くも変化を嫌うってことか。
So the status quo reigns supreme. They hate change, good or bad. But in that case, why are angels here? The angels left the heavenly world and came to the human world. In a way, isn't it change?
うん。明らかに法とやらと矛盾しているな。
It's true, this is in contradiction to the law.
それについては何もわかりません。私がこちらで過ごしている間に展開に何かあったのかもしれませんね。
I don't know anything concerning that. Something may have happened in heaven while I was living here. It seems there's no more information that Il can tell us. You could ask another weird question. While we were talking like this, we didn't realize how much time had passed. With little choice, Ignis entrusted with a patrol role, and Kanas leading the ferry stand up.
しても急にでかい話になってきやがった。これ以上の面倒にならなきゃいいがな。
Still, this is suddenly sounding like a huge deal. I just hope it doesn't become some more troublesome. Yeah, that's right. The sky is starting to stain orange. The time for the operation approaches and everyone heads to their assigned position. Then, Monsieur puts a finger over his mouth and waves me over. Be quiet is what he must mean. I hope you understand. What could he want to talk about? Upon determining this, I walk over with footsteps hushed as well as possible, and we go outside Enchante. Holding a large bag, Katia is standing in front of the shop. Huh? Is what I'm about to shout in surprise, but I hold it back at the last moment. Katia, why are you here?
ミシェルに呼ばれた。泊まれる準備をしてこっち来いって。
I was called by Monsieur. He said to be ready to stay the night.
そうそう。例の作戦が終わるまで彼にもここにいてもらおうと思ってね。
That's right. I figured he should be here until the operation finishes. Monsieur light-heartedly pats Kitty-da on the shoulder like usual, but I can't overlook this. That'll be dangerous. Right now, this is related to the kidnappings.
犯さなくても大体の事情は聞いてる。天使たちによる神隠しだっけ。
She's over here trying to protect this boy, and he's all like, I know things. You're 14, Katia. Go home. You don't need to be vague. I was told about most of the situation disappearances caused by angels, right? If you know, that's all the more...
そういうのいらない。蚊帳の外にされんのが一番きつい。
No need for that. It's more hurtful to be left out.
詳細はごまかしたけど、両親からは許可もらってるし。
I didn't say the details, but I got permission from my parents.
何かあっても、あんたが責任を追及されたりしないよ。
No matter what happens, you won't be held responsible, Leah. That's not the issue. I'm just worried about you. When I try to persuade him, Katia makes a face of mixed
頼む
feelings.
よ。協力させて。ちょっと会話が成立しないし、たまに痛いところついてくるけど。
Please just let me help. I know he's not good at conversation and he gets on my nerves
数
sometimes.
学教えてくれたり、ゲームハード貸してくれたりするし。俺、イルのこと割と好きだよ。
Just saw that math problem. Oh god. But he teaches me math and he lends me his game console. I rather like Eel. He knows math because he's a computer. Hang on, wait a second. I just had an epiphany. He's made of math. So I want to help clear the suspicion from him. It's better to have more people to prove an alibi, right? Yeah, or more people who are friends with him will just lie. That's right. Karida was another regular at the shop. He was probably worried about Eel. Then I was hit with something obvious. I got it. Thank you, Kadia. Let's work together.
変なの。イル本人じゃなくて、あんたがお礼言うとか。
That's weird. You're not Eel, but you're thanking me, Leah. You're putting your life in danger. Kadia briefly smiles, but he quickly stiffens his
で
expression.
もアリバイ云々だけが俺を呼び出した理由じゃないよね。ミシェル、どういうつもり？
You didn't call me over here for an alibi, right? What was this for, Monsieur?
保険だよ。
It's for insurance. Insurance? Monsieur nods to the window of Enchante's second floor with his chin. That position is probably the empty room that Mr. Assistant is in. What about Mr. Assistant?
彼、どうも真意が読めない。きな臭いっていうか。
I can't read his true intentions. He seems fishy, or...
今回の作戦に俺を絶対参加させないよう動いてるようにも見えた。
It seems like he deliberately set up this operation to exclude me. That reminds me, he was really insistent on being at night when you wouldn't be here. We don't need the flashback. I was there. I nearly forgot, but Rindo is our observer from GPM. In that case, information about Monsieur going to the demon world every night would reach Mr. Assistant.
今逆らってもいいことはなさそうだから、ひとまずは様子を見るけど、信用はできそうもなくてね。
So far, he's done nothing worth opposing him, so I'm just going to keep an eye out for now, but I just can't trust him. According to him, he also told Ignis and the others to slip by the GPM personnel with them and try to return early. But it seems Monsieur is extremely wary about Mr. Assistant. It seems that wasn't enough.
まあ念には念をってね。というわけで、
ちょっと耳貸して。
Well, as they say, just in case. Anyway, mind lending an ear?
何
What is it? Karida walks closer and Monsieur goes right up to his ear. I can't hear what they're talking about, and Kirida makes a confused face, but it seems he agreed by the end. He silently nods back. After that, to hide himself from Mr. Assistant, Karida waits quietly on standby in the kitchen, using the perception obstruction there to mask his presence. I should also watch out for Mr. Assistant's movements. However, I hope nothing happens, but please let the suspicion on Eel clear up. I couldn't help but pray for some things. I don't know, man. The operation to arrest Angel seems fishy even to the GPM staff members. Several hours passed since it's commenced, even as the date is about to turn over. I throw commands to subordinates running along the halls.
天使を得る唯一の手がかりは霊力とかいう未知のエネルギーだけ。
Sorry, that seemed like way too short of a reply. The only clue we have to track down angels is this unknown energy called spirit
データベース
energy.
にヒットしない怪しいエネルギーを受信したらすぐに各所へ連絡してくれ。
If we detect a strange energy that doesn't have a hit in the database, contact all units immediately.
了解しました。
Understood. The subordinates salute like soldiers, then depart. The command division can be pretty wild, but I'm blessed with the subordinates under me. As I think this, I hear footsteps from down the hallway. A fine rhythm, unlike the shoes of an adult. Rather, right away, I know their identity are Grimace.
聞いたよリンド
I've heard all about it, Rindo.
天使の捕獲なんてそんな心躍りまくる面白い計画になんで僕を混ぜてくれないんだよ
Capturing angels, such an exciting, interesting plan, so why didn't you include me in the fun?
そういう反応をするからだよ。
Because you act like that. I sharply replied to Makaido as he clings to my leg. Actually, the bags under his eyes are ridiculous. How many nights has he not slept? I realize I'm the one who brought data about Medio, making me at least one factor, and I feel just a little sense of guilt. Still, we're in the middle of an operation. I'll quickly explain him away and then toss him into a nap room.
僕にも関わらせろ君だけが取り仕切るなんてずるいぞ
Let
い
me
け中
join.
年め
God, I don't recall him being this annoying recently. Oh, let me join. It's unfair that you get to hog it all, you underhanded geezer. This is... Could I drop a fist onto him for this? I'm sure it's fine. Here goes. Without noticing my clenched fist, Makaido starts stomping his feet in frustration.
ただでさえカリア君の検査ができなくてストレスが溜まっているのにさらに僕を蚊帳の外に置こうとは
I already can't do Kirida's examinations. My stress is all pent up. If you leave me out yet another thing... What?
何の話？検査できないって。
What do you mean you can't do the exams?
だからカリア君のことだよ最近ますます検査に来てくれないじゃないか
I'm saying this about Kadia. He comes here even less for medical examinations than before lately.
たく最近の若者は言い聞かせるほど反発するね困ったものだね
Good grief, kids these days are so rebellious. They're nothing but trouble.
いや、待って。
Hold on, wait a minute.
ミカド、お前例の助手君を代わりに派遣してカリア君の検査を行ってたんじゃ。
Makaido, didn't you send your assistant in your place to do Kadida's examination?
はあ楽しく5鉄目マーチを奏でている人間に対して寝言をほざくなどいい度胸だねリンド
What? Saying such nonsense to someone who's been up for 5 days straight? You have quite the nerve, Rindo.
いいかいどれだけ忙しくともこの僕がミカドアキラが
Listen well, no matter how busy I am, Akira Mikado.
人外研究のチャンスを他人に譲るわけないだろ
Would never hand over a chance for non-human research to another, would I?
はあちゃん
と検査に来るようにって助手君に伝言をお願いしたはずなのにな。
I told my assistant to tell him to keep coming here for examinations. Cold sweat starts to gush from my brow. I immediately take out my smartphone and press the call button. However, the call to Enchante is blocked out of by strange static noise. Then, what about an SNS message, I thought, but the results are the same. All that displays is gargled text. Shit. I start swearing abuses and run off at full speed.
リンド、どこへ行くんだい？部下たちの指示はどうするのさ？
Wait, Rindo, where are you going? What happened to leading your subordinates? And people can't put 1 and 2 together. Like, he just asked you a real question. Depending on the street and area, this hour is almost completely engulfed in silence. The presence of raindrops accompany the dull colored clouds. Monsieur stayed in the human world as long as he could, holding out to the last possible moment, but about 30 minutes before the date change.
やっぱダメっぽい。ほんとごめん。一回魔界に戻らせてもらうよ。
As I thought it's no good, I'm really sorry. I need to head back to the demon world for a while. For some reason, his face is somewhat pale as he returns to the demon world. I assume he's kind of like the fairy. He has to be in the demon world. Explains why he doesn't stay the night. As the intense sound of rainfall patters onto the roof, the only ones left here are me and Eel. I was told to watch out for Mr. Assistant, so I've been paying attention to the stairs, but there's no sign of him making a move or even coming down here. Not even the sound of the door opening. Was Eel not a part of the plan?
マスター？
Leah. Eel awkwardly looks down as he speaks to me. Huh? What is it, Eel? Do you want a drink or a snack? Oops, I'm falling back on the knife.
いえ、そういうわけでは。ただ私はあなたに謝罪をしなければと。
No, nothing like that. I just wish to apologize to you. Wait, apologize? Why?
先日の天使との戦闘後、あなたを泣かせてしまいましたから。
After the battle with the angels the other day, I made you cry.
きっと私はあなたに対してひどいことをしてしまったのですよね。
I'm sure I did something terrible to you, didn't I? I really am sorry about that. Oh, that's right. On that day, we ended up not speaking a word afterwards. And after that, he didn't have much chance to speak because of GPM visits and the operation. No worries. Actually, I'm sorry for confusing you, Eel. I'm really glad you managed to rescue my friend. Thank you. But I know he's healed. But just looking at Eel's right arm reminds me of that time the moment pierced through me. I was really sad that you were injured. As the words leave my mouth. Sad? 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 It's as though this is the first time Eel had heard that word. He starts repeating it over and over, mixed with bafflement and incomprehension like a broken record player. Eel? When I call to Eel, he suddenly stops repeating the word. Then he flashes an awkward smile, baring his teeth.
どのような理由であれ、あなたが落ち込んでしまうのは私の望むことではありません。
Regardless of the reason, I no longer wish to be the reason for your gloom.
ですから。
So, Eel stands from his chair, then slowly walks towards me. One step, another step. With a cheerful
どうか
smile.
元気を出してください。私はあなたの笑顔が見たいのです。
Please cheer up. I want to see your smiling face.
私にできることはありませんか？あなたが望むことなら、どんな奇跡でも起こしてみせましょう。
Is there anything I can do? If you so desire, then I shall move heaven and earth to do it. I thought it was just my imagination before. Eel, but now I'm certain. I reflectively stand up from my chair and back away from him. The words, the smile, everything about him. Eel and that mysterious man were one and the same. So without thinking, who are you? By the time I realized it, I was saying it. What? Am I speaking with the real Eel? I heard that exact same line you just said in that game. And not just this time, it's happened before. When I said this, Eel's face goes pale and he covers his mouth with his hand. Could it be that he said it without being aware of it? What relation do you have with that character, Eel? Everything from his expression and mannerisms are like yours. This isn't a coincidence, is it?
それは
That's... And before, when you got hurt, you were so unfazed that I began to worry. Are you hiding something from me, including this incident now? I just don't know enough about angels. Hey, Eel, exactly what kind of being are angels? While I was asking this, part of me wanted him to just deny it. It was just a coincidence. You're overthinking it, Leah. With the same smile as usual, I wanted him to sweep away those strange worries and chills swirling in my chest. However, he doesn't move, like he's frozen. Perhaps due to the intense thunderstorm, right when the lights in the shop dim, my question is
沈黙を
answered.
貫くか。ならば、私が真相を語ろ
You remain silent. In that case, I shall tell the truth. A voice falls from the heavens. Immediately after, with the next roar, without using the stairs, in the center of the shop appears Mr. Assistant.
う。もはやその故障を使用する必要性を、当個体は有していない。
No, use of such a title is not required for this individual. His voice sounds even colder than usual. Who he faces is
この声はあなたはお前は
this voice is your... I don't know what's happening. Much like when he saw the angel feather, Eel begins to lose his composure. Although this might make sense because I thought this voice sounded like the other person in the other world, and I was like, am I confused? Because I thought I recognized this voice, but I also thought I recognized that voice, so...
気配を隠していたとはいえ、まさか最後まで、当個体の存在に気がつかぬとは。
I was masking my presence, however, to think that you would fail to realize my identity until the very end.
やはり人間界は、お前に悪影響しか与えぬようだ。
It seems the human world truly had a negative effect on you. As he says this, Mr. Assistant throws off his hood. At the same time, there's the sound of something else spreading. It's an angel! Mr. Assistant's figure, he had big wings that rivaled eels, as he transformed into a man with divine, pure white wings on his back. An angel! As I stand in shock, Eel next to me says his true name in a trembling voice. Solitus. Oh, he's beautiful!
そのような表情までするとは、相当な不具合を起こしているようだな、イル。
Don't tell me that you're actually surprised. Your malfunctions are considerable, Eel.
いや、断罪の天使、当個体の片翼たる使徒よ。
Angel of judgment, one of my wings, the apostle. Judgment. What does that mean? Despite my questioning, Mr. Assistant, no, the young man called Solitus ignores me. Reflected in his eyes is Eel, his face pale and trembling.
お前は天界における唯一無二の個体。故に、神は罰することはせず、手元に戻ることを許された。
You are a unique individual in heaven, therefore God has decided not to punish you and instead permit your return.
お前が不在の間、処分すべき欠陥品が多量に溜まってしまった。
During your absence, a large number of the defectives have accumulated and are in need of disposal.
同じ使徒とはいえ、当個体だけでは手が足りない。
While I may also be an apostle, I cannot handle it alone.
さあ、戻るぞ。あの時のように神の手足として、己が役目を果たすがいい。
Now let us return as before. Act as the limbs of God and fulfill your duties. Gil forcefully shakes his head.
嫌です。私は戻りたくない。
No, I won't. I don't want to return.
私はもう断罪の天使じゃない。神のしもべでもない。
I am no longer the angel of judgment. I am not God's servant.
堕天使。そうです。私もあなたたちの言う欠陥品のはず。
I'm a fallen angel. Yes, that's right. To you people, I'm nothing more than a defective.
こんな出来損ないにあのお方からの信託を果たす役目はふさわしくないでしょう。
How could you see this failure as appropriate to carry out his oracle? Therefore, as Il refuses with a frightened voice, Solitus,
虚偽の主張を否定する。
I reject your false claims.
堕天使だと申告しているが、お前は落ちきってなどいない。真に落ちているのならば。
While you declare yourself a fallen angel, you have yet to fully descend. If you truly had fallen,
このような感情についてのデータ収集など必要ないだろう。
you would not require data collection or emotions like this. Suddenly, something is thrown to the floor. The thing that landed with a hard thud was the game console from my room. The power is on and the screen is lit up. Of course, what's running is the Atomi game I left in it. Probably because it's on autoplay, the text and voice lines progress on its own. When Il sees it, for some reason he screams with no voice.
やめてください。それだけは。
Stop. Please stop anything but that. Il? Il loses his composure even more and reaches for the game console. That moment, as the only person I trust, I shall tell you my real name. My name is Il. Il Fado de Ria. What? I figured that was gonna happen. When they said that you didn't know his name and he was scared of her progressing too far. Also, now that they've shown this guy's face, I'm gonna look at the voice actor behind the face because I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I just don't want to be wrong. Like, could you imagine being wrong? Be like, I know who that is, and then I'm wrong. I mean, I got Sukuna right. That was a great day. The inside of my head goes blank. Il Fado Dario? That's the name of the young man on screen who I've had questions about all this time. Wait, so... Who is the person in front of me? An unpleasant palpitation shakes my chest. Then Solitist, who has been ignoring me until now.
お前はこの個体の人格を評価していたようだが、それは無意味なこと。
Leah Iwaki, you had such high praise for this person's character, however, it was meaningless.
なぜなら、我ら天使は神の信託に従い、天界の安寧を守る。
After all, we angels simply follow God's oracle and maintain the order of heaven.
感情など存在しない。 ただの人形だ。
Does he not have an animated thing? Is this the only other thing they can show to give him like an animated look? We are puppets without needs for emotion.
いる。いや、断罪という呼び名しか持たぬこの個体が。
Eel? No. This being's true name is Judgment, which also means that everything he said before was true. Because he knew that the reason Eel can't learn things is because he's never needed to learn things. This being's true name is Judgment. You're Judgment. Look how judgy those eyes
こ
are.
の空想上の男の人格をトレースしていたに過ぎない。
He simply imitates the personality of this fictional man.
お前と行った接触や会話はすべて仮初め。演技、偽物だ。
Show me what I want to see. If it doesn't, then oh well, I might have gotten it wrong. 10? He's the voice of 10? Whoa, that's a magical. He has so many voices in that mobile game. He's in Diabolical Lovers! Oh man, I still want to play that game so bad. So many people are in Diabolical Lovers. It's almost ridiculous. Hiro Yui! Hi! Hi, Hiro. I love you so much. I miss Hiro. He does a lot of voices. Oh my goodness. He's the Gene guy. Interesting. Oh, he's in One Punch Man. I have not been keeping up with One Punch Man, so that makes perfect sense. Oh, he's Marth. I did not play Fire Emblem, so I can't. But he's Hiro Yui. I did not realize there were so many things that had Hiro in it. Jesus, have I been behind? Trying to see if he has any other things. I just see Diabolical Lovers and Hiro, and those are both fine by me. If you haven't watched Gundam Wing, like, oh my god, that's the only Gundam I've actually watched. What is this? Snow Bride. This is definitely an Otomi game. Best Master and Prince Snow Bride. Mathis, Alfred, Lucia, Eric, Klaus, Silvio, Bernd, Dirk, Hurt. There's not a lot of characters in there, and most of them are boys. That's how I know it's an Otomi game. Shining Heart, Castlevania? He's in Castlevania. To be clear, every time I've watched Castlevania, it's always in English, so... Castlevania. Dude, Castlevania is my jam. Honestly, I should play all the Castlevanias on stream. That'd be fun. I was obsessed with collecting them. I don't have the consoles anymore, but I was so obsessed with collecting them when I was younger. Him being Hero is pretty much all I'm seeing that I really recognize. Which means he's not who I thought he was. But he has such a good voice. Like, am I wrong? He's got so much acting. Honestly, I'm still scrolling. I'm not even halfway done his acting list. Castlevania. Have I listened to Castlevania? I don't think I have. And when I watched Dragon Ball, he has a lot of Dragon Ball in his history. I've always watched it in English. I haven't watched it in a long time. But he's Android 16. Which is honestly one of the weakest androids. But whatever, it's fine. Hero. Barbie and the Swan Lake. He's Prince Daniel in the Japanese dub. Hey. And he's also Prince Stefan. What the heck? Why does he get multiple Barbie movies? He's in Digimon. Holy snap. He's done so much. Interesting. I don't know. This also might not have all his stuff. The thing I go to is called Behind the Voice Actor, and I've learned that it doesn't have everything on here. He's in Cowboy Bebop. Xenogear. Outlaw Star, but it was like one character. Phrase that right. One side character. Obviously, he's one character. So much Hero Yui. Like, Hero Yui, and I appreciate that. I'm here for Hero Yui. Sailor Moon. Theo. He did multiple voices in Sailor Moon. He's got quite a list here. Earthian. I need to watch that now. He's in Thomas and Friends. He does multiple voices in Thomas and Friends. He has an incredible voice. It's not who I thought it was, but this has happened before. I feel like when you're a good voice actor, you can change your voice. And who knows, he might not sound the same in any of these other things he's done. There's also a small chance I just missed it, but he has... Oh, we're close to being birthday friends. Yeah, let's see. Someone did a photo of like all his best known voices. It's a lot. It's a lot. But nobody in Demon Slayer. It's not that I see. I could be crazy. I'm going to his other thing. He's mostly got Dragon Ball on his thingamabob. Fire Emblem, The Human, One Piece, Shadowverse. Oh my stars. He's got so many voices. Props. Also, just being a voice of Castlevania character. If he does the same voice for his Castlevania guy, hot. It's a good voice. Tokyo Mirage, he's Marth. That's Marth. This, Atelier. Rise. Which, honestly, I don't even remember Atelier having voices, but that's cool. I'm gonna do Control Find. I doubt I'm gonna find anything, but just in case. Demon Slayer, Temple Demon. Okay, wait, was I right? Okay. I'll have to look that up to see if I'm right. Okay, he was in Demon Slayer. He just didn't pop up on that list under Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has so many demons in it. Like, oh my god. And I don't remember any of their names, to be clear. I forget all their names. Demon. Temple Demon. Let's see. Is that him? Is that him? Is that who I pictured? They're showing me a lot of demons, but they're not the ones I wanted. Yes. Okay, cool. I'm fine now. Okay. I feel better. I feel justified. It didn't pop up in the original list. Alright. He's one of the first demons. Alright. All contact and conversation with you was nothing. An act of falsehood. I got way too distracted there. He declares the cruel truth with no mercy. Yeah, but he looks really upset, right? Right? Like, he looks like he cares. How can that be real? I tried to ask him, but...
否定を求められているぞ。望み通りに応答してやるがいい。
She wishes for your denial. Answer her however you wish. Look at this guy. Look how cool he is.
ただし、トレース元の口調や言葉を一切引用せず、己自身が思考し作成した言葉にて。
However, you mustn't cite fictional actions or dialogue. You must defend yourself on your own accord. Gil desperately flaps his lips without a sound. All that emanates from his throat are dry breaths and gasps, not words. That means...
不可能だろうな。どれだけお前が精密に男の人格をトレースし、彼が取り得る行動を予測演算していようと。
Impossible, regardless of your perceived imitation of that man's personalities and estimates of actions he would perform.
感情の有無を問われるなどという、その男にとって絶対に起こり得ぬ事象への対応は再現できないのだから。
You were questioned on your emotions. You cannot reproduce a phenomenon that would absolutely never occur to him. Il suddenly raised his head and his anguished gaze meets mine. He looks at my facial expression. He tilts his head in desperation, trying to figure out what he felt, and starts approaching me.
違うんですマスター。私は人形なんかじゃ。
He's wrong. This is wrong, Leah. I'm no puppet. As though trying to cling to me, he extends his hand. Oh! Why? He likes you! He's looking for help. What the heck, girlie? But instinct, I take a step back. I'm terribly confused as well, trying to figure out what the truth. All I can do is repeat it. No emotions? An imitation? Then all the words until now and that smile before were all. Okay, but you care about him, right? And like, this guy's about to kidnap him. You know this.
待って。行かないで。逃げないで。マスター。マスター。マスター。
Wait, don't go. Don't run away, Leah. Leah. Once again, Il tries to close the distance with me, but that frigid voice stops him.
生物の真似事は堪能したか。ではそろそろ意志なき人形に戻るがいい。
Have you had enough of imitating living things? It's about time to return to being an unthinking puppet. With Solitus's words as a signal, pillars of light rise all over the place in the shop. From inside the light appears a number of figures. Angels, but unlike Solitus and Eel, the angels that appear have wings stained totally black. But even stranger than that are their expressions on their faces. I know Solitus said that angels don't have emotions, but all of them, as though they're afraid, they tremble with hostility towards Eel. Solitus slowly takes one step back, then declares quietly.
さあ、断罪の試練に打ち勝つがいい。
Now conquer this trial of judgment.
この個体を回収。あるいはその娘を殺せば、
What a nice
定められた運
voice.
命から逃がすと契約しよう。
I have to listen to Hero in Japanese. I only listen to Gundam Wing in English because I used to watch it on TV when I was a kid. Recover this individual, either that or kill that girl, and I shall agree to free you from your fate. As though instigated by this. One of the fallen angels shout and release a small ball of light at me.
Master!
Maybe just by reflex, Il extends an arm as though to shield me and erase it with one of his hands. With that, I realize it doesn't matter how many of them there are, they stand no chance against Il. Do they though? But do they? And yet...
やだ来るな来ないで
Don't come closer, stay away. While he should have the advantage, he appears to be the one afraid of the fallen angels.
すでに精神は限界か。では、最後の一手を打つとしよう。
Also, notice that Ill's the only one that bears his chest. This guy's got a shirt underneath his thing. His mind is at its limits. In that case, I shall take the final step. Solitus, standing further back, narrows his already narrowed eyes at him.
先ほどお前は疑問を抱いていたな。
Leowaki, you had a question earlier.
この個体が司る断罪とはいかなる意味なのか。
Concerning the meaning of judgment administered by this individual.
ならば、そのもう一つの真実をお前の眼前で暴くとしよう。
In that case, I shall reveal one more truth before your eyes. What? After revealing so much truth already, there's still more to Eel? From empty space, Solitus pulls out a single spear. But he shows no sign of wielding it and simply stands holding it, staring straight at Eel. Like, what a cool guy, right?
まさか 先日の一撃はあなたの。
That attack the other day was you? You'll notice is the gaze and the presence of the spear, and his body shakes greatly. The cruel truth crosses with his frail rejection. The results are already clear.
神の大公者、神託の使徒、ソリトゥスの名のもとに。
By the name of Solitus, proxy of God and apostle of the oracle.
やだ。
Stop, no.
断罪の使徒へと強制的に命ず。
Apostle of judgment, I hereby compel you.
私はもう断罪なんてしたくない。
I won't. I don't want to pass judgment anymore.
本来の姿、兵器として。
Return to your original form, be the weapon.
もう誰も。
I don't want to.
法を破り愚かなる感情を得て、落ちたものを裁くがいい。
Judge the fallen, those who defy the law and gain foolish emotions.
殺したくな。
I don't want to kill anymore. At the same time as Solitus's spear shining beautifully, Eel's right arm, injured the other day, starts ignoring his will as it convulses and begins to move. Upon closer look, his hand and arms are entangled in threads of light appearing from thin air. With a grinding sound, it manipulates his body as he twists in terror. Then, in a glitter of a moment,
来るな。早く私から逃げて。
don't come near me. Quickly get away from me. Eel returns to his original form and points his magic towards the fallen angels. However, his shouts fall on deaf ears with the fallen angels.
俺は生きるんだ。お前を殺してでも。
I want to live even if it means killing you.
心を得たからなんて理由で処刑なんかされてたまるかよ。
Just because I gained a heart, I won't be executed for that. With such shouts, the fallen angels fire their magic at Eel. During this,
さあ、殺せ。
kill them. He didn't direct that to the fallen angels. He said it to Eel.
やだ。いや。
I don't want to. Eel's scream rings out. It's a lot more daggers. But counter to his refusal, innumerable arrows of light are released from his shout. The magic fires off into all of their bodies in a single moment without exception. Arrows of light bore through all of their chest, blood spatters around the shop. It takes only a moment for every single one of them to stop moving. In other words, they're all dead. Piles of corpses. The shop is filled with the stench of blood. With such a gruesome sight before me, I get dizzy on the verge of collapse, but I lean against the counter and try to stay standing. In the center, the creator of this, the one forced to create this sight, stands in a daze. Splattered blood covers his palms and all of their corpses. Their bodies and their blood turn to faint particles of light and vanish into the air. I killed again. I guess the end of his wings are blacker. I guess. Oh. I thought it was shading, if I'm being honest. I was seen. She knows. Seeing me standing in fear was the last straw. QRWBS. Warner Brothers. He loses it completely.
知らない知らない知らない知らない何なんだこの胸の痛みときしみは
Okay, well, he's having a moment. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What is this pain and strife in my chest?
集めた情報とは何もかもが違うこんなものは私が焦がれ彼らが得たものではない
Everything differs from the gathered data. Something like this isn't what I yearn for or what they obtained. Go hug the guy. He needs a hug.
希望にあふれたものではないのか
Weren't emotions supposed to be more beautiful and filled with hope?
もし
If this...
もしこれが本当に感情でありこんな苦痛を呼び起こすものならば
If this is really what emotions are, if it evokes such agony within me.
私は俺は僕は当個体は
This individual.
その全てを放棄する
Choose to abandon everything. Okay, that's a bit extreme.
固有霊力観測座標確定個体番号オールゼロから緊急信号と再接続の申請を確認
Unique spirit energy detected. Location detected. Connecting to individual number 0000 confirmed.
接続完了該当個体からの要請を認可要求された処理の実行を開始する
Connection complete. Request for individual approved. Commencing execution of requested process. Suddenly, along with an inorganic voice sounding out from who knows where, Il is engulfed in light for a moment, then falls to his knees and stops moving. Il, there's no response. Walking over to him is...
やはりお前にはその姿が最もふさわしい。
This form is where your truest talent lies. Solitus casually steps through the area where the fallen angel corpses were and holds a hand over Il.
目的の達成を確認。これより断罪の使徒の回収展開へ続く固定ホール付近に転送。
Completion of objective confirmed. Apostle of judgment has been collected, teleporting to heaven.
開かねえぞどうなってんだ
It won't open. What's going on?
イグニスそこをどけ
Ignis, move over.
ダメかミシェルたちの結界に別のものが重ねがけされているのか
It's no use. Has something been placed over Monsieur's barrier? Solitus stops his action. He probably reacted to the voices of Ignis and everyone who returned earlier than planned by Monsieur direction, as though waiting for the timing.
アベカリア。
Karia Abe. Karia comes leaping out of the kitchen and heads straight to the room with the gate. Likely due to being taken totally by surprise, Solitus is unable to react to this, and Kiria manages to slip inside.
やっぱりあいつらがクローズドに
As expected, they must have set it to
頼む
close.
よ見せる
Come on, Monsieur. Time is 12:30. The gate opens vigorously. A presence of overwhelming power flows into the shop. From the demon world, Asmodia, a non-human king returns to face an angel. However, when Monsieur notices the sight of Il collapse on the floor, I'll kill you. He thrusts unprecedented hatred and murderous intent at Solitus, standing next to him. The sheer intent to kill seems to become blades and cuts into Solitus. However, he doesn't even move an eyebrow and calmly observes the situation.
ミシェル・アレックス。かの者が相手では分が悪い。
Monsieur Rex, I have poor prospects facing you as an opponent.
最優先とする目的は達成した。ここで回収せずとも、いずれ自主的に展開に戻るだろう。
The priority objective is complete. Even without collecting, he must eventually return to heaven voluntarily.
また!
Wait. Oh no, he's gone, he's gone! He vanishes with a glare of light. The only thing left there is the sound of intense rain from outside and silence to the point of sadness. What exactly what is it? In the middle of this, I'm totally confused. It's like I'm seeing a terrible dream. But the ruined interior of the shop serves as proof of the tragedy and chaos that occurred here in reality. The death of fallen angels, and the truth that Solitus mentioned. A broken fragment of glass falls from the table and the shattering sound rings out. I instinctively look over. Il's on the floor, his head still hung down. Fearful, I walk over to him. Il? I call his name and peer into his face. Ooh, that doesn't look good. That looks not good. That looks like the opposite of good. He doesn't look in a good spot. Il. Hey, what is it? His eyes only say nothingness. Even after ooh, his wings are white now? Am I wrong? I don't even know. Even after I give him a light shake, he doesn't move on his own. It's as though he truly has become a puppet. He simply announces in a melancholy way, nobody announced anything.
バグの全消滅を確認。
Full erasure of emotion confirmed.
人格データのフォーマットが完了しました。
Personality data reset complete. That's all. Oh, my stars. But he is a computer. He's a computer. That's a computer. This is a computer. I, Monsieur Rex, met him about 15 years ago. At the time, it hadn't been long since I started coming to the shop. Enchante in the human world, I'd only begun understand various things. I had only begun to understand various things. Back then, the only regulars at Enchante were myself and Canis. Or so I thought.
ミシェル、お前に会わせたい奴がいる。
Monsieur, there's someone I want you to meet. During a time when Canis returned to Medio and vacated the shop, I was suddenly told this and basically forced by Soan to the front of the certain room. At his urging, I entered the room with him, and the inside was lonely with no lights on. And he was there. On the bed, as though trying to protect his own body, with sheets all the way up to his head. There was a young man with eyes cast downward. When I saw the wings of mixed white and black on his back sticking out from the sheets, I instantly understood what kind of being he was. An angel? No, a fallen angel. I sought an explanation from Soan, and he spoke with a difficult expression. In summary, shortly before I came to the shop, he was found sitting in front of the gate. He was injured and unable to look the other way, so one took him into his care. For some reason, he had kept his existence hidden from myself and Canis until today.
見ての通り、何をしても話しかけても一切反応しねえんだ。
As you can see, no matter what I do or say, he doesn't respond at all.
悪魔と天使って、なんかほら、関わりがありそうなイメージだろ？
Demons and angels, they have the image of having some connection, right?
今のままじゃ回復の見込みもなくてな。けど、悪魔っぽいお前なら、なんか話を聞けるんじゃねえかと思ってよ。
At this rate, I don't see him recovering. However, as something like a demon, I figured you might be able to speak to him.
そんな適当な理由でというか俺、正
What a
確に
silly
は悪魔じゃ
reason.
ないんですけど。
And to be exact, I'm not a demon, you know? However, in the end, I was forced by Soan to stand in front of the fallen angel. I reluctantly tried to speak to him.
はじめまして。
Nice to meet you.
ねえ、そうピクリともしないんだけど、これじゃどうしようもなくない？
Soan, he's not even moving. What am I supposed to do?
そうは言うが、これでもマシになった方なんだぞ。
You say that, but this is actually better than before.
少し前までは近づくだけで怯えるようなありさまだったからな。
Until a short time ago, just getting near him would send him into a terrified state. I see, so this is why he didn't introduce Kanis and I to him until now. I understand, but Soan still shows no sign of letting me go, so I try speaking again.
それじゃあさ、君の名前は？俺の名前はミシェルって言うんだけど。
Alright, so what's your name? My name's Monsieur. His body shook slightly, however, he still didn't open his
も
mouth.
しかして名前がないの？
Do you not have a name?
名前のない天使。それに
A nameless angel in that hair color.
まさか断罪の天使か。
Don't tell me you're the angel of judgment. Oh, sorry for the late explanation. Normally, angels don't have emotions. If they gain emotions, they become fallen angels. Even I know that much. Also, in Calem, there's the angel of judgment, a being known as the strongest of the weapons, serving as executor of fallen angels. For some reason, while not outright hostile, as often told in the human world, angels have strange dislikes of demon kind, at least according to the rumor. I had been gathering such information so as not to be taken by surprise in case of a sudden encounter. Anyways, back to the story. It's so cute! What the heck? Oh no, I didn't screenshot it fast enough.
なんでそんな大物が人間界に？
Why would such a big shot be here? In surprise, I stooped down to peer into his hidden face. I was shocked. There was nothing in that expression of his face to manifest emotion. The only thing there was dark and clouded despair in his eyes. As I was bewildered, our gazes met. Then from his lips, I noticed a slight movement.
愛とは
What is?
愛とは何か？
What is love?
愛？
Love? I tried to ask what he meant, but there was no reply. Afterwards, he only repeated this. Something like a broken doll would do. When I saw him like this, I couldn't help but feel pain in my chest. I can't quite describe it, but in the past, I too despaired. I rejected the state of human existence. My state at the time overlapped with him in a painful degree. So without thinking,
そう彼のこと少し俺に任せてもらっていいかな？
Soan, could you entrust him with me for a while? I had made such a proposal before I knew it. It was easy enough to say, but all that awaited me afterwards was difficulty and emptiness. No matter what me and Soran did, or tried to care for him, his responses were reliably zeroable. Zeroable? What is love? All he did was repeat these words. He's a fallen angel. He should have gained a heart. Yet no matter how much time passed, no emotion other than despair sprouted within him. As I repeated the same thing every day, even I started to give up. For a change of pace, I went out into town, still racking my brain for a solution. Just then, I happened to pass in front of a certain game shop. There was a strange, flashy video playing on the advertisement TV, so I stopped without thinking. What was playing there was
乙女ゲーム
an otome game. I wondered what that even was and reached for a nearby
女
flyer.
性視点で男性との恋愛を楽しむゲーム
A game played from a female perspective to enjoy romance with men. I'd normally have no interest at all in this and would immediately leave, but it's a genre dealing with love, the thing that Fallen Angel is so fixated on. The words invoke emotions and the characters react with expressions changes. My eyes froze on that. It's possible that he doesn't even know how to show emotions with facial expressions.
ま、何かの参考にはなるかな
Well, it might be a decent reference. On such a casual whim, I decided to buy the game with a console and gift it to him.
じゃあここ置いとくね操作は今説明した通りだから気が向いたらプレイしてみてよ
Anyways, I'll leave it here. You operate it as I just explained. Try playing it for if you feel like it. Although getting him to pick it up would be the biggest problem. Night was approaching, so I did the bare minimum, set up an explanation before leaving the room.
命令を確認言語解析実行
Command, confirmed, language, analysis, executing.
ありがとう。あなたのおかげで私は
Thank you. Because of you,
愛を知ることができました。
I was able to learn true love.
いい
Love.
この男はこの短時間でそれを理解
I feel terrible for him. This man, he learned it in such a short time.
演算開始エラーエラ
Commencing calculation. Error. Error.
ーデータの取得優先度を変更この男の各ステータスを数値化行動傾向を観察演算を再開
Altering data acquisition's priority. Quantifying this man's various statuses. Observing trends. Commencing calculation.
演算完了一致率 87%
Calculations complete. Conformity ratio.
人格
87%.
データのトレース完了以降より精度を上げるために繰り返しの演算を重ねます
It's eerie because you can hear his voice changing. Oh, that's creepy. Copying personality data complete. Repeating calculations to increase precision level. The next morning, at the same time I was stifling a yawn and walking into the shop. What? An unprecedented shout of astonishment from Soron etched. Thinking something happened, I rushed into the shop and was dumbfounded. There, humming a tune and sitting at the counter with game console in hand, was the fallen angel. It was shocking enough for him to have come out of his room, and
お
yet...
やおはようございます
Good morning. As I stood there dumbfounded, he faced me and gave me a graceful greeting.
何これどうなってんの
What's going on here?
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。朝来たら当たり前のようにこの状態で座ってやがったんだよ。
That's my line. He was sitting here like it's normal when I got here this morning.
昨日こいつに最後に会ったのはお前だろう。なんかしたんじゃねえのか？
You're the one who saw him yesterday? Did you do something to him?
何かって別に何もちょっとそれ貸して
I didn't really do... Wait, let me see that. I snatched away the game console he was holding and peered at the screen with
あり
Sauron.
がとうございます。これが私の探していた品です。
Thank you very much. This is the item I was searching for.
まさかこんな希少なものを見つけてもらえるとは。
Think you would find such a rare item for me. There. I saw the figure of a man with the exact same smile that the fallen angel before my eyes was making.
まさか
You're kidding. I had a bad feeling as he turned to face us as we gushed cold
はじめ
sweat.
まして
私はイルファド・デリエと申します。
Nice to meet you. I am Il Fado de Rio. The fallen angel stated his name with a smile. That moment, I cursed my yesterday self for acting so carelessly. That's right. The Atomi game I gave him was a story of a man and a woman realizing their love. The thing he sought most was love, and he saw the character obtain it. Thus, he had the misunderstanding that if he became the same being, he could also know love. And in the span of only one night, he copied that personality. So you knew.
「結局彼はそのまま自然な成長を待つことなく空想の人格を自分に固定させてしまった。
In the end, he never developed naturally and was anchored into a fictional personality.
それが君たちが今まで接してきたイルという存在の正体だ。
That's the being known as Il you've been interacting with to this day, his true identity.
古いゲームだからもう誰も気づかないだろうって思ってたんだけどね。
It's a pretty old game, so I was sure nobody around would realize it,
ま
but
さか今更そのゲームがリメイクだとかでまた発売されてこんな形で利用されるなんてね。
who would have thought it would get a remake now of all times and then be used against us like this? Okay, wait, he said 15 years ago. MC is 19. That means when she was 4 years old. And she lived with her dad until she was, or her grandpa until she was 4 before moving back with her parents. So there's a chance she knew Il. As Monsieur spoke in a self-deprecating way, all we could do as we sat in our seats was answer with silence. In the corner of the shop, with pure white wings, and eyes lacking any light in them, focusing on nothing. An angel with a face expressing no emotions, who lost his heart, Il sat absent-mindedly in a chair.
さっきの話にあったが、
This was in the story just now,
打
but
天使とは何らかの原因で感情を取得。結果、罪人扱いされた個体を指すようだな。
fallen angels seem to be those who obtain emotions by some reason or another, as a result are treated as criminals. In that case, does that mean Il had real emotions? My question, Monsieur, shows incomplete agreement.
多分だけどね。
Probably, but not for sure. How much was imitation, and how much was his own emotions? Girl, I feel like you're the reason he had a mental breakdown. You should have not have walked away from him. That's something that in the end we never figure out and end up. That's something that in the end we never figured out and ended up in this situation.
確かだったのはただ一つ。イルが異常なまでに愛という感情にこだわり知りたがっていたこと。
There's only one thing for certain. Il was fixated on the emotion of love to an abnormal degree and wanted to know it.
イルが乙女ゲームに就寝していたのも、それが根本にあるため。
And Il was attached to Atomi games with that as a basis.
感情というデータの収集、すべては愛を理解するための行動だったということか。
He was collecting data on emotions. All of his actions were for the sake of understanding love. Monsieur feebly agrees with the that's right, then does a about
た
face.
とえその中身が偽りだったとしても、それでもイルはイルなりの答えを見つけようとしていたのに。
Even if the inside was fake, Il was still trying in his own way to find the answer. He clenched his fist. I can tell without looking at his face that he's quietly boiling inside with anger. The target of that rage is unmistakably the one who opposed us on the same race as Il. It's toward the angel Solitus, a young man who worked as Mikaido's assistant. His true identity was an angel targeting Il sent from heavenly world. He called himself the Apostle of the Oracle. I don't really get what it feels like to be emotionless.
イルがいろいろと足りてない理由がそれだって言うなら、なんとなく納得はいくかも。
If that's the reason why Il seems to be lacking in so many ways, I can see
場
why.
の空気や言葉の真意が読めない。悲しみみたいな繊細な感情を理解できない。それもそこが原因なのかな。
Inability to read the mood or true meanings towards words, not understanding delicate feelings like sadness, that must be the reason. He's Lilu from the fifth element. Got it.
そしてお前はそんな過去を持ったイルを庇護しようと誰よりも過保護になっていたのだな。
Knowing Il's past, you tried to protect him. You were overprotective beyond any of us.
真実を隠してたことは悪かったと思ってる。
I feel bad for hiding the truth from you, but I just couldn't say it.
どうしても言えなかったんだ。どんなことがきっかけで彼がすがるように得た心や人格が破壊されてしまうかわからなかったから。
After all, I didn't know what could cause the heart and personality he gained to disintegrate into nothing. Suddenly, Kirida makes a painful face.
人格と感情を放棄したって聞いたけど、それじゃあ今のイルはどうなってるの？
I heard he abandoned his whole personality. What will happen to Il now? Did he really turn into just a puppet?
笑ったり、それこそ何かを喋ったりすることもできないの？
Can he smile or even talk about anything? My heart freezes. He won't smile anymore. Il? The one who would smile so much every day? I just can't believe it, so I hurriedly walked over to Il. Il, this is all a joke, right? I know there's a bunch of things I wanted you to help me with today, so... The words I was desperately stringing together aren't even noticed by Il with an inorganic face. Il, all I can make are hoarse voices and next to me. Ignis stands up forcefully, violently grabs Il by the collar and pulls him up. What collar?
もうほうだ、無感情だ、ざっけんな。
Imitation, emotionless. Don't screw with us.
てめえ何をぼーっとしてやがんだ。下手くそな演技してねえで返事しやがれ。
What the hell are you doing with that dumb look? Quit your shitty act and answer her.
あんな気取った野郎に好き勝手言われて悔しくねえのかよ。箱いこいつの力になりたいって俺に相談したのも嘘っぱちだったのか。ちげえだろ。
And aren't you mad that that bastard over there is saying whatever he wants about you? I thought you quit being such a shut-in loser. Were you lying when you came to me to ask me how you could help Leah? Of course not, right?
なんとか言えよ、おい!
Say something.
イグニス、やめろ。
Ignis, enough. Damn it. Canis calls his name in a warning way, and Ignis lets go of Il's collar. As though thrown down, Il falls back into his chair. His arm forcefully swing down and shake like he didn't stop the impact. I'm sorry, Il. If I didn't try to flee from Il at that time, this might not have happened. I'm 100% sure it wouldn't have happened. He got sad because of you. Sadness and despair dominate my heart. Also, for not trusting him, I'm only angry and regretful at myself. Yeah, you trusted a stranger. You all trusted that stranger. His true identity is that he's the strongest weapon of heavenly world Callum, the angel of judgment, an executor of fallen angels. Originally like the other angels, he had no emotion. After his fall, he imitated the personality and name of a character appearing in an Atomi game. There's no color in his eyes. Am I getting the bad ending?
ごめん。悪いけど、しばらくアンシャンテから離れる。
Sorry, I'm gonna stay away from Enchante for a while. After his brief explanation, saying only this, Monsieur departs, looking haggard, but nobody can even try to stop him. Rindo, also seeing him off with mixed feelings, with a face just as heavy as Monsieur, tries to give me an encouraging smile.
すぐには難しいかもしれないけど、
What if,
今まで通りに営業している
hear me out, you carry Il's lifeless body to this door and you use his hand, you make him, hold the door, pull the door open. It should open to the angel world. Then you go to the angel world and you go, fuck you, give him back. And then everyone's happy? Did I do it? Did I solve it? Have I figured this out? Are we Gucci now? It might be difficult anytime soon, but it may be best for you to run your business as you did until now. Because by some unexpected chance, Il's personality and motions could come back. With such final words of consideration, Rindo returned to GPM. According to later contact with him, after that incident, it seems the disappearances suddenly stopped. GPM cleared their suspicions of Il for the time being, searching for the angels' goals and their abducting people, and maybe taking some responsibility for hiring a non-human in their department and letting that non-human do this. And also seems to be conducting an inquiry into Makaido, who was the one to hire Solitus as his assistant. As for us during that time, Il, can you stand up? I grasp his hand and gently prompt him on, and he stands up to match my movement. Then 1 step, 2 step, we walk as I hold his arm and he doesn't fall. As though copying me, he follows along, albeit slowly. It seems if I give him instructions or guide him, he can at least move around. By some unexpected chance, his personality could return, huh? Once you start making him snacks, do you want the coffee? You want the ice cream? Pick one. Give him a choice. I feel like I could break at any moment, but that possibility is the one thing barely holding me together. Oh, right. We should try talking to each other. Talk about Canis, Ignis, Kydia. Ooh, I could have. Well, this is my first choice since then. Okay. Try talking to Canis, try talking to Ignis, try talking to Kadia. Things like old memories, it could have some effect. Ignis, can we talk just a little? Ignis was sitting in his room doing nothing in particular and clicks his tongue at the sight of Il. Just a hunch, but I think Ignis is the most annoyed about him showing no signs of regaining his emotions.
何を聞きてえのかは知らねえが、俺に話せることなんてほとんどねえぞ。
I don't know what you want to talk about, but I have barely anything to say.
俺は常連の中じゃ新参だ。こいつの昔の姿なんて知らねえ。
I'm the newest of the regulars here. I don't know anything about his past. I see.
ただ、昔はおかしいと思ってた。ソーアンのじじい、俺たちにはあれこれ手伝えってうるさかったくせには。
But I thought it was weird before. Old man Sauron, he was always pestering us to help with all sorts of things.
こいつにだけはやたら甘かった。見た目や雰囲気にほだされるようなやつじゃなかったってのに。
But he spoiled only this guy, even though he wasn't the type to be affected by people's looks or airs. Doesn't that mean?
ソリトゥス、あの野郎の言うことが本当だってなら。
Yeah, Solitus, if that bastard was telling the truth.
答えは明確だ。それが彼にはそのような雑務など必要。
兵器として生まれたこいつには戦う以外の力がなくて、どうあがいても他のことが身につかねえことになる。
If he was born to be a weapon with no ability beyond fighting, no matter how much he struggles, he learned nothing else.
ジジイはそれに気づいたんだろうな。ショックを与えねえよ。
さりげなく雑用から遠ざけてたのかもしれねえ。
The old geezer must have realized that. He might have quietly kept him away from chores to prevent any shocks. As though saying the conversation is over, Ignis turns his back to us.
そんなふぬけ野郎、もう知らねえ。とっとと連れて出てけ。
I don't know that idiot with you. Just hurry up and get him out of here. Doing as told right as we leave the room.
あの時俺らがもっと早く戻ってりゃ。
Damn it. If only I'd gotten back a little sooner. I could swear I heard his frustration boil over and he quietly muttered such things. Soon after getting back to the shop, Connus tells me he needs to return to Medio for some time to report this incident and I see him off. Several days passed. As the owner, I did my best to act strong, but in a corner of the shop, every time the sight of him hanging his head enters my view, the emptiness inside me grows. Then a certain lively guest visits from the god of the gate. Yo, 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 I'm here to visit. Hey, Il, you ill? I wasn't making a bad joke just now, alright? It just slipped out. He cheerfully enters from the gate, doesn't notice Ignis giving him a dirty look, and starts looking around the shop. There you are. Geez, it's hard to find you if you sit in the corner like this. Wait a minute, Dromi. Right now, Il is... Dromi doesn't know the situation, but my restraint doesn't reach him in time. He starts speed walking towards Il and... Right before Ignis grabs Dormy by the collar, one more literally by the neck and drags him back to stop him.
なんの用だアホトラ。こっちは今いろいろごたついてんだ。飯食うならあっちで氷でも食ってろ。
What do you want, stupid tiger? We've got enough trouble to deal with right now. If you want to eat, go eat some ice over there. That's not it. I just said I have business with Il right now. Back in Bestia, near our turf, there's a huge number of angels.
Huh?
What? Dromi, what do you mean? Angels in Bestia? I just happened to run into them and secretly watch them for a while. They were just staring into this huge hole that opened up in the sky near our turf. I was just wondering what angels would even be in Bestia. But they wouldn't leave the spot no matter how much time passed, and they weren't like ill and seemed scared, so everyone is on edge. I figured I'd ask Il to come along as a fellow angel and get them to leave. Angels went to Bestia? What? With this timing?
だな、偶然とは思えねえ。連中、イルの身柄以外にもなんか目的があんのか?
Doesn't seem like coincidence. Did they have another goal besides taking Il back? From Dromi's story, it doesn't sound like they were simply sucked into a wormhole. Solitude had infiltrated GPM. Could they have used one of their fixed wormholes to go to Bestia? I don't know what you're talking about. By the way... It sounds like they were muttering something like experiment, also influence here, final stage. I wonder why. I have a strangely bad feeling. It seems like angels have conflicted with Bestia, so I doubt they would want to go there for a visit. And they were looking into a wormhole. After thinking for a while, I walk over to Eel. Eel, could this have something to do with them breaking your emotions? As expected, you won't answer. The laugh I put all the effort into making trembles in a pathetic degree. Don't cry, don't grieve. As the one who pushed him into the point, I don't have the right. That's right, you don't, girl. If I have time to get depressed, I should put the effort into getting him back to normal. But the only thing that changes is the time passes by in vain. That day too, after everyone left the shop, I continued talking about things with the ill. So anyways, right after Grandpa took me into his care when I was still little, he said, I don't know what girls like, you choose whatever you like from these. And brought me a mountain of picture books for me. Pretty rough, right? But one of them, even though I was still really young, I could tell it had such a wonderful story. There was a time when I obsessively read it. I think you would like it too, Il, but I wonder where I stored it. Oh, I know. Here, look at this magazine article. They said a new Otome game is coming out. I was thinking about playing again. I ended up not finishing that game after all. So this time, let's go through it together and talk about our thoughts. I've been repeating the same thing for the last several days. Did you put an Otome game in his hand? That might change things. Like I'm desperately clinging to it. But no matter how many times I talk to Eel, he has never answered, not even once. Q. Thanks, sorry for worrying you, Kororo. This is not a good time. No good for me. No good of me. If I let down my guard, I'm liable to collapse no matter what I'm doing. But sadness, wishing to return it to before. I'm the only one between us who holds such feelings. Seeing how ill shouted that, he might have actually desired this state. In that case, what should I do? At the quiet sound of the doorbell, I looked towards the gate with Kororo, and from there...
Yeah,
hey, it's been a while. After several days, Monsieur appears with an awkward smile. After sitting ill down by the window, Monsieur leads me out to the backyard.
聞いたよ。前にここでイルが初めてのお手伝いを成功させたんだって。
I heard this was the place where Il first succeeded in helping, right? Huh? Oh yeah. It was an unexpected topic, but it's true, so I nodded right away. I see. You weren't at the shop at the time, right?
正直惜しいことしたかな。できれば俺もその光景を見てみたかった。
To be honest, it was regrettable. I wanted to see that sight if possible. While saying this, he looks up at the sky with a sorrowful face. The cause of that sorrow is unmistakably. You actually cherish it a lot, don't you, Monsieur? Like he's a real family, like a little brother. When I mumble this, Monsieur gives me a surprised look. Then... You might be right about that. At first, it was sympathy from the crisis of itself. Then a sense of guilt for the false personality. But in the end...
友達として、家族として、アンシャンテの仲間として。
As a friend, as family, as an associate, I feel like those should be flipped. At Enchante, I want to protect Il. Wanted to protect. Flipping that around, Monsieur must regret failing to protect him. Monsieur. As I hesitated about what to say to him, he takes a breath and smiles.
実はさ、 さっきの初めて成功したお手伝いの件、
To tell the truth,
報告されてたんだよね。
about his first time helping you, I mentioned Il actually reported that to me. What? After helping right when Monsieur returned to Enchante,
聞いてください、ミシェル。私初めてマスターの役に立てました。
please listen,
そして
Monsieur. I managed to help Leah for the first time
人
and
間らしいと言われたのです。それに私の笑顔が好きだとも。
she said that I'm like a human, that she likes my smile. Monsieur gently speaks about it, saying he seemed truly happy. That much. It was that happy about what I told him.
イルの人格は確かに歪だったかもしれない。偽りがあったのかもしれない。
It's true that Il's personality was distorted, even, and that it was false, yet
その時、君にイルが見せた笑顔はただの作り物だった。例のキャラの単なる真似に見えた。
back then, was that smile that Il showed you really a fake? Did he merely resemble that character? No. The moment I remember that smile, the tears I was holding back until now all come spilling out from my eyes at once. Why did I doubt him at that time, even for a moment? Such a wonderful smile could never be copied. It could never just be an act. It was like he wanted to tell me thank you with everything he had, with that beautiful smile.
そっか。ならそれはきっと本人も自覚していなかった。
I see. Then I'm sure, well, he didn't realize it himself.
イルの本当の笑顔だったんだろうね。
That was Il's true smile. If what Monsieur said is true, I would be really happy. However, but realizing that now is too late, Il's heart is no longer.
そう簡単に諦めるなど、らしくないな二人とも。まだ打つ手は残っているぞ。
Honest? It's not like you two to give up so easily. A mean still remains. Honest?
久しいな。たった今、メディオより帰還した。
It's been some time. I just returned from Medio. Yeah, but what do you mean just now? There's still a means?
そのままの意味だ。今回の件を詳細に話したところ、ティターニアよりことづてを預かった。
Exactly as I said. After speaking of this incident in detail, Titania sent me with a message.
どうやら以前彼女は、メディオに訪問したイルの精神を、好奇心で覗いたことがあったらしい。
It seems she peered into Eel's mind out of curiosity when we last visited Medio. Oh.
痛ましいことが起きたものよ。わしの嫌な予感は当たっておったか。
Such a tragic thing to happen. It seems my unpleasant premonition was right.
そのような出世ゆえに、あの者の精神は恐ろしいほどの闇に染まっておったのじゃな。
With such a birth, his mind was steeped in darkness to a frightening degree.
じゃが、絶望するにはやや早いぞ。
However, it's still too soon to despair.
何？
What?
感情の有無と精神の有無は、ほぼ直結していると言ってもよい。
You can say there's a connection between a presence of emotion and a presence of mind.
そも、本当に中身のない人形ならば、生物ではないゆえ、精神を除くという行為自体ができぬはずなのじゃ。
If he was truly a puppet with no contents, he would not be a living being, and it wouldn't even be possible to peer into his mind.
つまり、いる。天使には、感情を受け止めるための精神、
In
すな
other
わち、
words, Eel
魂自体は存在しているはず。
and angels have a mind to accept emotions. Therefore, a soul should exist within them.
今はおそらく、その中身を封じられているか、丸ごと抜かれているような状態なのじゃろう。
Right now, most likely, either the content has been sealed off or have been sucked out.
では、
And
何らかの手段で肉体に残る魂に奪われた感情や記憶を流し込むことができれば、
by some means, if the stolen emotions and memories could be sent back into the soul remaining within his body. After hearing the story, me and Monsieur look at each other. In other words, there's still a chance of his emotions coming back?
そうか。天使の生態。俺たちはそれをまだまだ理解してない。なら、戻す方法だって当然。
I see. The nature of angels, we still have no understanding of that. So of course we'd have no idea how to get them back.
ああ、だから言ったのだ。まだ打つ手はある。とな。
Indeed. That's why I said a mean still remains. Then we need to learn more about eel and angels.
うん。それには未知の世界、天界カエルムに。
Yes, for that, the unknown world of heavenly world Kelm.
イルの故郷に向かう必要があるだろうな。
Eel's homeland is where we must head. See, I said it. Have him hold the door, open the door. What should we do? It's the look I gave them. But without hesitation, the answer is long settled. I nearly trip over myself rushing back into the shop. I tightly grasp Eel's strengthless hand as he sits by the window. I'm so sorry, Eel. This is for my ego. You can resent me for it, but still, I can't give up on your smile. Two days later. So since I said earlier I'm going to have some plans coming up, this seems like a good place to pause so we can continue this one in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great time. This is depressing. I give it credit. It's winning. It's winning me over in the depression. I'm curious if his personality is going to change if he gets his emotions back or if he's just going to still be the same guy. That'll be fun to find out. I still feel like they're Matrix characters though, which is a little weird, but we'll see how it goes. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check out my more recent stuff on Twitch. I stream about 3 times a week. And if you're on Twitch watching this and you want to see my older videos, you can check me out on YouTube. I upload all my VODs there. As already stated, Winter's Wish is currently uploading. It's almost gotten to the point where we're going to have Cafe Enchante's post coming soon. It's getting really close to the end of that story on there. So thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye, bye, bye.